ahoy, and g'day once again to ye mateys! I be your suitably delighted and expediently well-prepared DM Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more of a challenge than juggling miniature giant space hamsters whilst riding a unicycle in a hammock to welcome me back to Corsair's Cove. For the next campaign in our Humblewood world, thank you like that one, Karen, of Elements and Evil. With me, I have me hearty crew. The opportune Daria Surname Redacted, the punctual John Best, the convenient Karen Schlink, and the felicitous Brendan Ellis. So, let's talk about these wonderful
None of those
folks.
sounded particularly complimentary.
They're all pretty good.
They're all,
No.
it was...
Opportune.
He described his wife as convenient, John.
But I'm punctual, and I've never been called punctual before in my life.
I know,
so I'm
it was-
happy about that.
yeah, convenient
I don't know if
in
I've
that...
ever been called convenient, but I think there are people who would consider me convenient.
Looking for another player. Oh, there's one right here in my house. That's...
If you go to a bar dressed to the nines and everyone says you're so convenient, how would you feel?
That's not the context that this is implying.
I don't even know what mine means.
Felicitous, welcome, greetings.
Felicitous, Brendan. You don't know felicitous? What an idiot.
I didn't say that. I didn't call you an idiot for not knowing the word. Sometimes I do definitions. I didn't bother today, but they're all synonyms for timely. I was like...
It's Josh's very eloquent way of trying to remind us to get into the call earlier.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Daria was here first. That's why she's the favourite. I must also remind our timely, prompt, and possibly even seasonal audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials. We have a Discord where you can come and hang out with us and ask any questions you may have of our professional voice actors and Daria, who's an artist and did some amazing, which is all
A
right.
hand artist.
Going on tonight. This is a weird mood that we've got.
I thought it was the favorite.
And you can join us on our YouTube, where you can see any of the episodes you may have missed. All previous 140-something episodes of Humblewood, all up there, as well as the two-shot that Tony Karlstrom ran for us on Monday and last Monday, which was jolly good fun, where we got chased by Pink's purple space mist through a large city on Venus towards a ship that we eventually got on board, but not before seeing Keira Knightley at 10 foot tall. No, it was 10 meters tall. It was 10-meter tall Keira Knightley, and we had to stop the car, and some of us wanted to get out.
I had to stop someone leaping out the window of a moving vehicle.
It was a weird day.
How do you improve on Keira Knightley? Just make her giant. That's
More
all
of
you
her.
can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Disable safety protocols. Engage
Only
program.
Keira Knightley, now with 55% more.
Yeah, she's already very tall. So, guys, who the absolute heck are all of you? Daria, who the heck are you?
Well, I am Daria, and apparently that's all.
Yep.
No, I'm an artist, and today we have a new art made by moi on the channel, which is exciting. I am now officially aware of how to get paid from overseas. So if any of you perverts need some art of sexy or unsexy variety, I'll do my best to oblige.
I am a pervert, but I don't need sexy art. Saw the art. It is amazing. Is it not, Terrace? Yes, we have new Eric art. Right there! My favourite bit has to be Hope, though. And the glow. Just next level. Love it. Well done. No notes. John, who the heck are you?
My name's John. I've been a performer for 20 years-ish. Went off the reservation a little bit, now I work in IT. And I like to play D&D so that for 3 hours a week I can pretend to be competent.
Valid.
There was so much to unpack there, John.
That makes a lot of sense. Makes Bron make a lot of sense, actually.
My power fantasy is doing stuff well.
My power fantasy is actually getting regular long rests.
Yeah,
Right.
having a skill set that society enjoys.
Appreciates, yeah.
having a regular income, so
Oh.
you can live comfortably.
It's why
Yeah.
Karen gets so triggered by the whole being fired thing.
It's
Speaking
fun to
of-
bully your friends.
It is. That's how you know your friends.
Yeah.
Karen, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Karen, sometimes known as the mother of bunnies, and yes, I have been fired. Um,
Not recently.
not
I was
recently.
going to say, like, that makes
It was a
sound
while. It was a while ago now.
It sounded like you were being fired from the mother of bunnies. You're no
I don't
longer.
think I can be fired.
I let
from
myself go.
myself.
I've let myself go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's all right. What was I saying? Yes, I'm a writer, a performer, an internet addict. I hang out here a lot of the time. I am currently very overexcited about Baldur's Gate. And there's my social medias in the chat. Feel free to go follow me on the things. Or you can listen to me on the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons.
Excellent. And Brendan, who the heck are you?
Hello, I'm Brendan. I'm an actor and director here in Perth. It's likely that I'll be doing a show very soon, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just shitpost in here as Brensa and just hang out on Thursday nights.
Hells yeah.
Bully my friends. Get bullied by my friends.
Yep. And
Misery
Ivy.
loves company, so let's all feel depressed together.
Yay! Agreed. And I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel called Says Cove, but you know, because you've done that already. Good job. Keep doing it. You can find me here Thursday, Tuesdays, and some Mondays, depends really. Doing some D&Ds, sometimes playing, sometimes running, sometimes sitting in the corner, negging Karen while she plays Baldur's Gate. It's good fun. And painting minis. Join the Discord if you want to see a lot of the minis I painted recently. I've been very productive this year so far.
The other day, Josh was playing his Baldur's Gate campaign, so I sat there and talked shit at him for a change. It was nice, felt powerful.
And then we did the house in sex scene and made out
We're
with the bear.
traumatized now.
Yeah. Disappointed you don't get an achievement for fucking the bear, but you do get an achievement for fucking the Ithalid. You successfully romance the Emperor, you get that. I'm like,
Honestly, banging anyone in that game should be an achievement.
yeah.
To be fair, Holson is pretty easy. In
Oh,
my
yeah.
experience,
That's
he
true.
kind of just throws himself at you.
Yeah.
I really
Halson's
like the...
Hey, what a bone?
He is,
Got a
however...
partner? Don't care.
no, he does. This is the thing. He
cares that they care.
Yeah. He is a really, actually, I did a bit of a look at this. He is a very good example of polyamory in practice. He will not consent, he will not sleep with you unless, if you have a partner already, unless you have consent from that partner. And unfortunately, I'm romancing Karlak, and Karlak gives you consent, but it feels very like, I'm not really down for it, but I want you to be happy. And I'm like, oh, babe. All right, I won't. But he's now, I don't want to say yes, but I also don't want to say no. So he's, every time I talk to him, he's like, have you spoken to Karlak? I'm like, no, just drop it. She's dying. Wait till after.
What I love about video games is they present you an escape from your own reality.
I know, right?
And all the social norms and social awkwardness in real life. Yeah.
Yeah, Terra says, as somebody who
in
is...
my playthrough... in my playthrough, I'm like, I'm romancing Lae'zel. I feel like if anyone else came onto me, Lae'zel would just go beat the shit out of them, so...
I think Karlak's the only one who
Gonna watch
might
this.
be able to survive that. Yeah, Terra says, as someone who is poly, that is polyamory done very right, yes. Yeah. Enthusiastic, informed consent. That is very sexy. Other than that, I think that's about all we need to talk about, other than the wonderful shilling I have to do. So, guys, check out this beautiful thing. What do you think? This is a Jarrah Dice Keeper by the wonderful Wooten Forge. Check out their gorgeous work at wootenforge.com. They are, we are affiliated with them, and they are generally lovely chaps. And we are also affiliated with Troll Lord Games, TLG. They are a TTRPG creator. You can check out their stuff online at trolllord.com. They have their own system, and they also produce an awful lot of materials to support 5e and other TTRPGs out there in the space. They are also really big about supporting the online TTRPG community, which is why we hecking love them. So go and check them out, trolllord.com. Karen, can you tell us quickly about Gaza? You are muted.
I can, and I will keep it quick because speaking of depressing things, that's depressing. The Gaza situation, it's a mess. It's horrible. A lot of people are suffering and dying. So if you have some pennies that you are able to donate, please follow the first link in chat, and that will take you to the Save the Children Gaza Emergency Appeal. And if you're feeling a bit light in the pockets at the moment, that's cool. Cost of living, we get it. The second one is a petition through Oxfam that is trying to get the Australian government to call for a ceasefire and provide more humanitarian aid. And I see we popped the Ukrainian one up there because, Ukraine is also still not having a great time. The world, it's so great. You can still donate to the Emergency Action Appeal as well and support Ukrainian refugees.
Hey, Abus, how are you, my dear? Splendid, thank you very much, Karen. And we do need a bit of a recap. What happened last time for anybody who is joining us for the first time? Permafrost Bite, hi, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Willkommen. This is episode 54 in this ongoing narrative regarding most of these characters. So there's a few bits and pieces that you might want to be caught up on. We are currently playing a module that is not yet published, which is kind of fun. So it is an official module, but it's not out yet. I believe the book should be winging its way to be soon, actually. I'm rather excited. But let's get this on. So, hey, Riveljack, good to see you, mate. Karen, what the absolute heck happened last time?
Well, last time on Humblewood of Elements and Evil, our wonderful adventurers continued their investigation into the mysterious black slimes that have been erupting from the roots of the Alderheart tree and trying to carry off innocent, adorable school children. We continued our little side quest to, what was it called again, DM? I'm blanking on the name.
Winnowing Reach.
The place we went. Winnowing Reach, thank you. We trotted off to Winnowing Reach to converse with a couple of slime experts. Gert, who runs a slime potion emporium in town, and also Kenna, who runs a experimental slime ranch outside of town. And at the beginning of last session, we were Gert
in chat.
That's what Gert looks like.
Yeah,
he's a cutie. So last session we went back to talk to Gert again. Well, we were going to go back and talk to Gert again because he said he wanted to do some experiments. And we didn't get the chance because we were just doing some casual shopping to stimulate the local economy before going to meet with him. And he comes rushing up and he's like, panic situation. So we go back to Gert's workshop and discover that he has been mixing bits of weird death slime remnants with other slime remnants and has created a kind of chaotic cauldron of slime and bones with a green fire underneath, and it all looks very spooky and bad. And he's like, help, and we're like, so ultimately we managed to dispatch 3 mysterious creepy slime monsters with skulls inside their slimy forms. And we accidentally make some baby slimes from smashing bottles of mysterious slime potion open, but we get rid of those as well. It's not a problem. Nobody dies except all the slimes. And we do help tidy up afterwards because I know mending, and we're generally helpful people. We also Gert kind of runs us through what he thinks the situation might be with his old friends, whose names I'm blanking on. Sage
Leandric.
and Leandric, thank you. Sage and Leandric, who were fellow slime enthusiasts that he used to know back in the Alderheart. And Leandric in particular was interested in slightly more disturbing experimentations. So he might be a problem with a capital P. So he's like, you should go see Sage first, because she might be able to give you the download. But he really doesn't want Sage to get hurt or in trouble. So we're under strict instructions to, like, make sure Sage doesn't get hurt or in trouble. Which, depending on what Sage wants to do when confronted with the situation with her ex-lover, Leandric, I don't know. But, you know, we're going to try. And Eric actually goes and does a cheeky scry on Leandric to see if we can kind of get an idea of what he's up to. And he appears to be trying to create the king slime. Whether this is him transforming himself into the king slime, or he is simply trying to create the Ubermensch of slime, we're not 100% sure of at this stage. Either way, it's not looking so great. So we use our magical Blamfing rock to hasten back to the Old Heart and do a quick check-in with some peeps. And I think we're about to head off to the Roots.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's right. We did have a discussion about whether we should go see Sage at all. This was Eric initiated. This was like, should we even talk to Sage if, you know, Gert really wants to keep her out of this? And ultimately we were like, that's a really good thought, but also we kind of need the information she has. So we're just going to try and protect her as much as possible. So Gert doesn't get mad at us. Because he was a little upset about the mess we made in his room. But in fairness, he made a mess in his room first, so...
Gert wasn't mad at you. He was really grateful.
He was, but he was a little disheartened by how many things got broken in the process.
But he wasn't mad at you because of that. He fully acknowledged that this was his fault.
Yes.
Like, he shouldn't have put things in other things.
Yes. That was a combination of things that we won't be doing again. We learned a lot of valuable lessons, and now we're just going to put a pin in that.
Yeah. Is that dog outside our dog? No, she's here. Okay.
No.
That
just-
dog, our dog. It's our dog, comrade.
No. No, our dog is here, asleep in her bed next to me, and she's very good. Good girl.
Aw.
But
I'm
there's
just
another
gonna
yappy dog out the back.
I'm gonna brag to Chad. I have hazelnut chocolate ice cream. It's so fucking good.
I'm staring jealously at it already.
It makes no sense for you as well. How cold is it where you are?
Don't worry about it. Do I eat ice cream as I walk on the street with -30? Yes, I do. And so, what of it?
You know, it's 35 degrees here, and there is no ice cream in my house.
Listen, you guys can eat your stew at +33. I can eat my ice cream in Russian winter. Okay, I think we're equal here.
We
Yeah.
really need to.
You'll look
swap
really silly
our stuff
eating
to
that
here.
ice cream in your pool, though. Alrighty. Well, guys, that was excellent and splendid, Karen. Thank you very much. So, I think that's everything. We need to get back to it. So, mateys, may your slime research yield useful meta information about the coming combats, and all your interactions with fire extinguishers leave you clean and refreshed, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. So, we return to the chapel in the trunk of the Older Heart, which is a giant tree in which probably about a third of the population of the Humblewood live, to which the gang have just returned via teleportation from Winnowing Reach. They teleported back. They have the return stones, where you just sort of squeeze it and say, I wish to go home, and something like that, and you go. They've had a chat, which was a valid point, but everybody sort of agreed, no, we're not going to violate the person's trust by just not doing that. And so, I believe the next thing to do would be to talk to Sage. However, you could do other things first. So is there anything you want to do before going to see Sage?
Before we discuss those options, DM, have we had enough downtime for a short rest? Or
I
have
would
we
say
been too busy?
well, you've pretty much gone straight. You had the fight, you cleaned up Gert's place, you scried on Leandric, then you went straight to Alderheart. So you have just arrived in the chapel, had that conversation, which was about a 10-minute conversation. Short rest being an hour. If you wanted to take one, here would be a good place to do so.
I think it would be in our best interest to take a short rest.
Yes.
I need to roll some hit dice
Very well.
because I took. Yeah, I'm still like down nearly 30 points of.
Oh yeah, me
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Even after I healed you?
Even after you healed me.
Yeah, wow.
I got smacked a good one by that frickin' slime.
Those cursed slimes are real good.
I have a thing for you. I have a thing for short rest. Chef, special food. As part of short rest, you can cook special food for 8 creatures. At the end of short rest, any creature who eats the food can spend 1 more hit dice to regain an extra 1d8. So if you want to roll more, but you don't want to touch your hit dice, you can do that.
Nice.
Cool.
Also,
So we need to spend a hit dice, but if we do, then we get a free one?
yes. Yeah, so you can send 1 of yours and plus 1d8 of mine.
Can you do that in addition to Song of Rest?
Song of Rest. I don't think I have that.
You're a bard.
Oh yeah, Song of Rest. If you're any blah, blah, blah. Oh, additional 1d6 as well. So you get 1d8 and 1d6 from me for free. On short rest. Thank you, DM. I forgot about short rest. And also, I will give you guys all each a cooked treat. It's a cooked treat that gives you 4 temporary HP.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Julio goes. There is a little kitchen, not in the chapel, but around the corner in your super secret hideout. So yeah, Julio probably goes and busies himself in there. That's perfectly serviceable short rest activities. Julio comes back about half an hour later. What are the little treats that you make everybody?
Well, okay, what time of year it is?
It's just coming into autumn.
Coming to autumn. Ooh, what are like late August type treats? Like little baked out nuts.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, what can you give that one to me again? I didn't
Nice.
catch any of it.
Something simple, something that doesn't need a lot of time to share. Oh no, the internet.
No, nothing.
Weirdly, it's
Oh,
only
Josh-
Josh and not Karen.
Josh's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, I'm sorry, but we're streaming, so it's you guys and not me. Because, yeah, we're watching Zooms. So,
Actually,
yeah, you guys are, glitching out, and, like, this happened on the Monday one as well.
do you want me to repeat that, Josh?
Yes, please, I didn't catch any of it.
Okay, so I only have an hour, so it would be like simple Augusty treats of like baked apples with like some honey drizzle and some nuts on top. Just
Hell yeah.
delicious little. Mm-hmm.
Heck yes.
Yeah. Apologies, everybody. Australian internet, super great. I need to call Therese and say, hey, can we get a different fucking internet provider, please?
This one sucks.
Yeah.
The irony is that we'll go through all the trouble of getting a different internet provider, and then it will just still be crap.
Yeah. It's gotten worse recently, though. We didn't used to
It
have
has
anywhere
gotten
near
worse.
this much issues. Anywho's and what's. It's cool. So everybody gets cooked autumny style treats. And yeah, how would you be spending your hour of downtime? Kesh?
I would be like double checking all my gear, making sure I've got everything I need for this latest foray into danger. I'm just checking my spell slots now. I'm actually all right for spell slots.
Yeah, I think you just hunter's marked and shot a lot of things.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't think I have anything I need to do in advance, so yeah. Let's do this.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Got the
Alrighty.
spiny shields ready to go.
Yep. Bron, do you do anything?
Not really. I don't think he puts his armor away because we're probably going to be heading into it. Maybe he just like oils it and like maintains a bunch of his other tools and just kind of goes over his stuff and repairs things slightly, undents them. You know, doesn't have time, unfortunately, to knock the holes in Eric's staff. That's not a euphemism.
It could be.
But yeah, that'll take a couple hours. So doesn't try to start that. But yeah, just generally maintains his equipment, if you know what I mean.
Excellent. Cool. Anything Eric wants to do?
Probably just feeding Hope. A little bit of dry bark or something from the older heart. And probably using that opportunity to introduce her properly to Bron.
Yeah.
In fact, I will get out the little wire nest and put that on the altar for her to sit in. And yeah, put some of the bark in there for her to feed on. So
it's really kind of appropriate, actually, because there is now finally art for Hope as well, so we all know what she looks like, which is super cool. And yes, Bron, you are introduced to a little phoenix.
That's cool.
Sweet, cool. Alrighty, an hour passes relatively...
sorry. Does anyone need a little bit of a top-up in terms of health?
I mean, I'm down like 6 hit points, so it's no biggie.
You can
I've
roll
taken
more
since I
than
got
one
4
hit
temps.
dice.
Sorry?
You can roll more than one hit dice.
I've already rolled 2.
Well, you've got 10. You're level 10,
I've
so
got loads.
You can, yeah.
You
Fuck it.
There's-
hustling back on a long rest.
Yeah. There is almost no reason
I
to
rolled
not
a
do.
1.
We'll roll another one then.
Remember, you do add your Constitution modifier.
That is true. So
to the numbers.
there you go.
9.
Plus
Oh, that's more than I need.
2 every
Yep.
time. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Alrighty.
We don't add them to the bonus from Daria.
No,
We don't add our con modifier to those
you might
rolls?
add.
It's not
You might
great
add.
talks, I didn't.
You might add the one to the one from the feast, but not the one from Song of Rest,
Okay.
because you are
One
rolling
lot
a
of
hit.
con.
You are rolling
Cool.
your hit dice from the feast,
Yeah.
so that would make sense.
Yep.
Mhm.
But you don't get it from Song of Rest. Cool. Excellent.
Is it worth us popping past the shop and seeing if we can get some healing potions? Because I'm out.
I have one.
We don't have to, but Bron, do you have something to add? You look like you have something to add.
Well, so I can heal, but also, last time I was looking for some plate armor, which admittedly is not as light and easy to grab as potions, but was told that we were in a bit of a hurry. So, maybe there is. I don't know
Yeah.
how much of a hurry we're in.
Well, we can like pop in. We have a shopkeeper here that knows us pretty well. My potion is
You are
greater.
right. We did actually say that. Yes.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
sorry, Julio, go on.
My potion is a greater healing potion in case we need that, and also I can also heal. But having one more, I think, to give to the lady could be good. So that she has something in case she's like close to death, and we can like feed her immediately.
I mean, I can burn a spell slot and make good berries as well.
They are good.
Also good. They are good.
Yes, and
These berries.
I can definitely heal as well. It's just, I mean, perhaps I'm overthinking it. Like, we can all heal. It's fine. It's just nice to have an external source of healing that doesn't
Require the
rely
healer
on
to be
our-
conscious.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And if I have to choose between healing someone and setting everything on fire, you all know what I'm going to do. Of course,
Both.
it'd be heal you.
Yeah, of course.
Heal it with fire!
With fire. I have looked
Yeah,
as well.
Raid the missing HP with fire.
Yeah. A suit of plate mail costs 1,500 gold pieces. Is the standard
Okay,
going
yeah.
rate in 5e.
You're almost a third of the way there.
Well, yeah. If we see that as we're walking past the shop, I guess Bron will be like, "Thank you, Eric, for the gold, but would you like it back? Because 400 is not enough, and it's a lot of gold.
Sure. Okay. I'll take that back, but when we will revisit this issue later.
Yeah, thank you.
If you find yourself 400 short, you know where to go. How does Eric
My
have
gold
400
is back.
gold when I have like 200?
My gold is back to 420, so that's probably why.
Nice.
Is I said, hey guys, I can pay for this thing, but then I wouldn't have 420 gold. So that's
Yeah.
probably
That does sound about right.
why.
Yeah, you were told that your payment for this would be like promissory notes, would be like for goods and services from the older hut, so you might be able to trade that in as a future, like Iari said, future favors from us rather than money, because the tree's not super flush right now, but we do want to pay you.
Oh, you can flog those gift cards on eBay. It's fine.
Pretty much. Or, trade them in at the Wildwood Brigade headquarters for armor.
eBay? More like Tree Bay.
Tree Bay.
Ah!
I thought Julio was the Tree Bay.
Exactly. Give me the cards. Give me the cards.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, then
Julio
you...
is the older heart's sugar baby who gets paid in gift cards.
Yep.
Cool. You make your way down to the roots, where how would you go? Would you actually go within the tree, or do you take the super secret passage out of the tree and around? Because you can go down straight from the chapel, or do you take the more public route?
Suppose whatever's fastest, really.
Well, probably much of a muchness. You can take a lift if you take the outside route, so it's probably a little bit further, but it's an actual lift. And Bron is probably a little bit like, wow. So the trunk of the older hut is significantly hollow. Like good bits of it are straight up hollow. And there is several like crane lifts within the tree itself. And these were developed very early on in the development of the city as a city, and are considered one of the technological marvels. So that they move thousands of people a day. Significantly, there was an issue recently where someone proposed changing the costs of using them to be significantly more expensive to go down than up, which was a subtle jab at the humble folk, because all the bird folk can just fly. They can't fly up, they can glide though, so none of them need the lifts to go down. So
Except the penguin folk. Those dudes were screwed as well.
Yeah.
My vote is let's go down publicly so that people can see that we're taking action.
I heard you go down publicly, and I agree.
Why do you have to be so
Yeah,
vulgar?
show we're earning our wages and all that.
I'm just saying that it's good for the public to know that we are back.
And I'm just
protecting
saying
the
this
city.
level of vulgarity is unbecoming of a man of your stature.
Vulgarity is vulgarity. Let's go.
Hey, look, a lift.
See you on the way down!
Eric just flies.
Show off.
Fucking birds. Anybody who knows Featherfall can join him. You head down to the roots, and you were told that Sage's cart is relatively near the entrance to the roots most of the time, and it's not overly difficult to spot her when you get there. She is she was described as a woman with. She looked like a storm cloud, and I will show you a picture so you can see exactly what they meant by that. There you are. She is up in the little chat box, and she's a cutie. A Gallus has a bit of a worn appearance. Her eyes are tired under incredibly fluffy feathers, but her spirit seems joyful. Her voice is barely audible through her fluff, and she is trading from useful and edible things from a ramshackle wooden cart partially covered in moss. In fact, the cart looks like it's held together by moss and fungus, as well as being used to sell moss and fungus from it. There are also a whole, mess of trinkets down one side. It seems that she sells about 50% edible fungus and 50% just trinkets and little doodads. She's sitting on a little chair, a little three-legged stool, and as you sort of see her from a decent distance away, she is talking to a servant child, a little boy of, you would guess, no more than 3 or 4, no antlers yet, and she is showing him she's giving him a little wind-up Gallus toy that walks when you turn the key in its back, and she's explaining it's explaining how it works and demonstrating, and puts it on the ground, and it waddles away, and he sort of claps with joy and turns around, hugs her, and then picks the little duckling up and runs off to show his mum and dad. And she sort of stands up, dusts her wings off, and smiles watching the kid go. What do you do?
Let's go ruin her day.
Hey, Quadruptree.
Yes, let's. You lead the way, Kesh.
Cool. I will walk up to her and, assuming she's not dealing with any of the customers, I'll kind of clear my throat to get her attention. Hello. I'm assuming you are Sage?
Hello, yes.
I'm Kesh Glitterweave, formerly of the Wildwood Brigadiers. This is
Lovely
Julio.
meeting you.
Lovely to meet you too. This is Julio, Eric, and
I know of you, yes. Hello.
and Bron. We're wondering if we could
Hello,
have a
dear.
word with you in private.
Of course. Always wanted to meet saviors of Alderheart. That's lovely. Well, there's a little pub nearby. I can put the close sign up for a little minute if you fancy a drink.
It's not really a drink sort of talk.
I think we might need a drink.
Oh, then it is very much a drink sort of talk, I think. Oh dear. That's a shame. Well, let's go into the night, shall we? The night is a little pub nearby. There is a sign out the front with a picture of a corvum on a beetle mount charging at a windmill. And
Nice.
Thank you. She's like, I'd love to hear what's going on. Come in. It's not my pub, but you know, come with me. Come on, dears. And she puts a sign on the cart saying, it says, back in 15 to 20, maybe 25 minutes. Honestly, I'll be back when I can be. You know me. And leaves it up there. Like, it's quite a rambling sign, but it's clearly been well used. She leads you into the night. And it's very well lit in there. A roaring fire is going in the hearth, and there are loads of candles of... they're made of moss, and it's clear that she probably, you would guess she comes in here 3 or 4 times a day. She doesn't even need to order at the counter. A fellow Gallus sees her and begins pouring a tankard. She just sort of winks at him, and he begins immediately just pouring a tankard. Swan Coyote, yes! Well done, neighbours.
That's
very good. She leads you to a booth that is... The pub is not packed, but it's surprising that this booth is free. It's in like a prime position. It's quite near the door. It can see the fire. It's close enough to be warm and lit, but not too close so that you're not like overheating from the big fire. And no one's at it, and it's a little odd, except that she takes a spot at it, and you're like, okay, this is her spot. And the regulars here know that this is Sage's spot. And the barman brings over a tankard and says, "Get any of you lot anything?"
Could I just have a juice, please?
Juice?
Juice. Yes, please. Make that 2.
All right, juice.
make
Take
that
your
3.
hardest stuff.
Oh,
3
Jesus.
juices, and very well. And a brick.
Nice.
He winks at Eric. Yeah, comes back about 2 minutes later with 3 watermelon juices and it's a thick brown ale with head on it that you need a spoon to move. Just John's vibe. And she says, "So,
I love it.
what's the story then? Love stories."
Well, I'm sure you are aware to some extent of the strange disappearances in the roots lately.
I have heard, yes, very sad. I
Did you
couldn't
also-
do anything.
I wouldn't expect you to be able to, but did you also hear about the slimes that were turning up?
Yes, I had. It's a pickle. I don't really work with slime anymore. And I don't have. I used to have some associates, but I don't. I'm no expert anymore, I'm afraid. It was never really. The management of slime was never actually sort of my focus. It was always. I was in the sort of the back end products, how they could be utilized. I was the ideas person.
Well, we're here because we went to see Gert out in Winnowing
did.
Ridge.
How is they? How are they? Yeah, is they? How are they?
Good.
Good.
Splendid. Oh, I'm glad.
I really don't want to upset this woman. She's such a sweetheart. And I've just been about, hi.
She is pounding this beer as well. She's she is the stein is it's a stein and it's half empty. She takes a big pull, plonks it down. It's all gently. It's done with in the manner of a granny having a cup of tea, but she is just necking this beer.
I'm
Oh.
going to take a look at Kesh struggling. And then I'm gonna just blurt out, we have reason to believe that Leandric is behind these slime attacks.
Oh no.
Possibly not intentionally, but it very much seems from our investigation that he is the source of the problem.
It's just like it lines up very well. They seem to have some affinity with undeath, and seem to mimic his work a bit. And you put 2 and 2 together. So
I
Yes.
do know for a fact that he is currently working on something he's calling a slime king. Does that mean anything to you?
Ring any bells?
She sort of slumps. The beer hits the table significantly less gently than the last 3 times she put it down, which is how many times she's put it down. And she says, I had hoped, but see, the hope was in vain. Yes. Think I've lost him then. For good. Well, I can take you to where he probably is.
Do you know what the Slime King is?
Not exactly. But knowing what he was trying to achieve, one assumes he is trying to make something that he can use to control the slimes. And
To what
he
end,
was-
do you know?
for the good of people. To the best of my knowledge, he wanted to help people. That's all we ever wanted to do, all of us. And Gert, bless them, still does, I think, in their own way, and I try to as well. But I haven't spoken to Leandric in 2 years. I stopped. I after Gert left, he started his experiments got more severe, and Gert was always the one who knew what we were doing. You know, he was the equal of Leandric in the sort of the technical aspect of things. I was there. The thoughts and the ideas, and to a degree, the care of slimes is far more my speed. But
You were the architect and they were the engineers.
I was the granny. I was the mother of what they were creating. But I suppose architect and engineers, yes, that's a good way of putting it, actually, yes. But I eventually, I told him that I would have to, it was my last card, the last thing I could do to help sort of control him, was to tell him that if he didn't stop, I would leave. And he didn't stop. He kept it secret from me for a little while, but it was very obvious. And all I could do, the last thing I could do that maybe might make him see what I was talking about, was to leave. Fortunately, probably hasn't worked. So, I imagine he's looking for a better way to control the slimes. He always wanted to use them to make people's lives better. But I don't know if that's what I can't say what he's doing now.
Well, if you are able to show us where he is, would appreciate that, and maybe.
And also, Sage, we have to tell you, we are resolved to try and figure this out without bloodshed. To the best of our knowledge right now, the people who were abducted are not dead. We've seen the slimes apparently trying to be accommodating to one of the abductees. If we learn that the people are dead or harmed, I mean, obviously we will have to bring him to judgment, but you know, that's just how it is. We'll have to apprehend him. But if we can do it without a fight, and if he is indeed working with good intentions, we are more than willing to talk it out. We will just probably need your help to make him see that we are not.
I appreciate that. I might be able to help as well. He may listen to me, so I will come with you. We'll do everything I can to help, and maybe he'll listen. It would be nice to see him one last time, to know that I haven't lost all of him.
You should know that Gert was very concerned for your safety, so if I shove you roughly into a corridor, I'm trying to protect you.
I appreciate it. I'm not a warrior. I'm a worrier. But no.
Sorry to bring you bad news.
Oh, it's not your fault. You're trying to do the right thing, and I appreciate it. I approve very much, actually. You're a good egg. Well, I think you're a little bit more mature than that. Well, is there a reason we're waiting around then? Shall we?
Unless people want to finish their drinks.
Yeah. The bartender has brought a new one for her. And she does not appear to be paying. And she's Yeah. And the if any of you go to pay, she'll wave you. No, oh, don't worry about it.
Are you sure? I'm happy to.
Yeah.
No. Bahawi is he's a lovely chap, and we have an arrangement. So yes, don't worry about it.
Okay.
The looking closer, actually, the barman is a little unusual. He is significantly taller than your average bird folk. 6 foot. 6 foot plus. And he has wings as well as arms. Where all bird folk are wings and like their arms are their wings. They have feathered arms, essentially, with bird claws at the end where hands would be. This man apparently has 6 limbs.
Is it like a pterodactyl or something?
What type of bird folk does he appear to be?
An eagle.
So a raptor?
Yeah.
Do either of the top 2 limbs look mechanical at all?
Nope, they are 100% natural.
Wow.
We became friends when he first arrived. Didn't know where he was, what was going on. I'm rather worried about him, actually. He's aged very rapidly.
Oh, that's
Since he got here.
unusual.
He was very young when he arrived. And Bahawi has a very thick accent. Yeah. Sorry, Brendan?
I'm going to lean over to Julio and whisper in his ear and say, Julio, would you mind looking at that barman chap with your special eye?
Sure. And I look at him through my elemental eye.
He is redolent with air magic.
He has some air magic to him.
Oh.
That wasn't exactly what I expected, but that checks out.
Does that do we know, like, in general, about a bird folk or humble folk that hail from different planes? Is that something?
Nope. That doesn't. Bird folk and humble folk are material plane only.
Interesting. We'll keep that in mind. We'll make a little mind note of this.
Are you wanting to not? Are you expecting Sage to not hear this? Is this conversation being had sort of very subtly?
I mean, for my part, I just kind of whispered it to Julio, but
Yeah.
it's up to Julio how he responded.
Yeah, I feel like Sage already has a lot on her plate. If we want to come back to this conversation after we're done with Leandric, we would. But I don't want to, like, distract her with, hey, who's that fucking guy with 6 limbs?
Hey, what's up with the freak bartender?
Yeah, exactly. That's like such a tonal shift.
Hey, Bishop Blood, can you roll me a perception check in chat, please?
Perception check.
Exclamation mark perception. Just to see whether or not Sage notices this conversation. A 10. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think she notices. I think you guys are, like, Julio's base stealth is like 15 or something, so... No, what am I talking about? Julio's base stealth is probably in the 25 region. So yeah, if Julio just is passively being quite quiet. Blustering on the warfront, baby. Yes. So yes, you that is interesting, but you don't bother Sage with it. And yeah, his accent is very thick. And yeah, I don't think you would get any more than that unless you wanted to ask him questions. But yes, so Sage says,
like...
demonstrate his thick accent for us.
I did already talk as him. It was a oh, what do you want sort of. It's more that it's just the it sounds like it's hard to express it properly. It sounds like the words of birdfolk, which is common, have just the sounds don't work the way he speaks. It's just with a different style of speech. So it's very sort of chopped and clucks and like sort of some African languages, they've got like clicks and they're just glottal sounds, just very non-English, non-Angle, non-Romanic style Latin-based languages. Sounds just totally different.
Lots of like a heavy Oran influence.
Yeah, that could be said.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of there's some whistling. Like there's always a slight whistle in his speech. Like he's got more than one larynx, or his larynx is just very different. Yeah, I think the more you see him, the more you look at him, he is not a humble folk or a bird folk. And that's
okay. That's a later problem.
You've absolutely voiced frictives and the like. Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, you are definitely aware that there are people in this world who are not from this plane. Like every now and again, somebody blunders over. In fact, I think Kesh met one. I think Kesh met a dragonborn.
But we've been to another plane. So.
But you've also been to another plane.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
We've also been to another plane. So
yeah.
We're past this. It's
but
cool.
on
we're
this
like,
plane.
Yeah, if we survive this, we're coming back to this pub and staring uncomfortably at this bartender.
Yeah. Buhawi is a bought NPC by Riveljacks from a long time ago, and I never managed to find a way to put him in. But I've always wanted to because they specified Aarakocra. And I was like, interesting. Cool. Alrighty. So yes, the damn flamingo, exactly. So Sage says, being off to other planes. Yeah, so permafrost bite. In this world, there is a limited number of extraneous planes. It is the material plane and then the 6 elemental planes, of which life and death are the other 2 that you are not aware of. And then each plane is sort of connected to each other, and where they meet, the water plane and the life plane have a demi-plane of what you get when you mix the 2 together, and so forth. Every single one of them does. And beyond that, the shadow
Josh made a whole chart.
Yeah, I did. It's helpful to keep it in my head. So yeah, that is, as far as we know, as far as we've established so far, that is the extent of the extra planes in this setting. It's sort of a micro multiverse. Because it is acknowledged that Faerun and the other worlds sort of exist, but getting there is exceptionally difficult. Whereas plane hopping in this world isn't that difficult at all. You guys have mostly all done it. Some of them have done it by accident.
Yeah.
So yes, you go down into the routes following Sage. She goes back to her cart and turns the sign around, and it says, "Probably back tomorrow." And she says, "That's better."
Bless her.
And it's odd. She just leaves it there with all her stock on it. She doesn't cover it up. She doesn't wheel it away. It's just look. If someone robs me, that's okay. But it also seems like she's confident that nobody will. So yeah, she wanders and takes you down deep into the root system. She says, "So why did you go and see Gert?"
Well, we've been trying to look into the slimes, and then
I can't remember stuff today. What's the head of the council called?
Yari.
Speaker. Thank you, Speaker.
and Speaker Yari recommended Gert and the other the slime rancher Kenna as good people to talk to in regards to unusual slimes, and they had a wealth of information, as it turns out,
and a cool workshop.
Oh.
And a cool workshop.
Yes, I haven't been. I need to visit him.
I think he would really like that.
Yes, I'm sure they would. After all this, I really should. I've been putting it off. Speaking about Gert brings back sort of memories of Leandric as well. So, but I should really try and put that behind me, because a friend is a friend, and you be kind to your friends.
Yeah, and I think he'd appreciate that. I'm sure we can escort you after this.
Oh,
It'd be a
doing anything?
fun little trip. Something like that.
yeah.
We've got beetles somewhere.
You left them at Winnowing Reach, because you teleported.
Oh, that's
back.
right.
Well, then clearly we have to go get them back.
Hi ho, beetle, away!
Yeah. Heading into the Undercommons proper, the streets are nearly deserted, and it's an odd feeling. This part of the city has been bustling every time you have been here before now. Several perch guard or brigadiers pass you, nodding respectfully to Kesh. One group guarding a tired-looking servant tender named Bob, who sort of nods at Eric.
I bob back at him.
Yeah. And
Good work, Bob. Keep it up.
yes. And she leads you to a seemingly abandoned district called the Underfall. And it would be difficult for anyone who is not intimate with the twists and turns of the Underfall to navigate their way back up, really. You are going down. So the routes generally is about 3 levels worth before it really becomes what would be considered the Underfall. And this is much smaller, older boroughs, and pretty much deserted even before all of this occurred.
As she's escorting us, I am keeping an eye out for any mysterious black puddles.
Yeah. You do see a few every now and again. Yeah, she would actually point one out at one point and say, "Oh goodness, that's very nasty. That's nothing like anything I've seen him muck around with before. Normally there's color and life to it. It seems dead. And it shouldn't be coming out of the tree. Oh, really? Oh dear."
Mm-hmm.
I do know a ritual that might help. Oh, but I know it won't work. I'd need part of him.
What are you trying to do?
Well, if the only way I could making him. So you said the word Slime King.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I could really imagine that working would be if it's a control system, a control mechanism. Slime is a sort of a group consciousness, and if he's wanting to become the king of the slimes to control them, he would have to become a slime. And yeah, you guys described putting skulls of things in slimes, and she said, well, that would be. It all sounds like experiments of how to make slime hybrids. Part person, part slime, but that retain intelligence. And if he's trying to make the Slime King, it would be him he's trying to turn into the Slime King so he can control the slimes.
So what ritual are you talking about performing?
It's something I've tried before, but it didn't work because I didn't have anything of him to add to it. But basically,
I give her the feather that Gert gave me this morning.
Oh, where did you find this?
Gert, I scryed upon him earlier, so this this helped.
Thought I'd lost every part of him. Oh, there's a chance. There's a chance we can bring him back. Oh, thank you. Thank you, young man. Here. And can you roll me a d10, please?
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can ask someone in chat.
Well, I've done it. It's an 8.
An 8. She reaches into her pouch. It's the pouch you saw her pull that little wind up Gallus out of before. And from it, she pulls out. She says, "It looks inside." That'll. And she gives you it's a really nice little an envelope, but like an envelope. You know the Chinese New Year envelopes with a little red with characters on them, gold characters, and they put money in for children. It's like that. But it's blue and silver, it's she hands that to you and says, "Thank you, that's very kind of you," so she gives you a little envelope. That's for you, just a little something.
Should I open this now? What
you can if you like. And somewhat embarrassed.
I look at Kesh and I open the envelope.
Somewhat embarrassed, she is actually going to. She goes and shows the feather to Julio, and she says, "He did have rather marvelous plumage, didn't he?" And it is a little white feather with red tips. And she seems a little embarrassed about it. But yeah, you open up the envelope, and inside is a gorgeously handwritten note, and it's like a movie ticket stub, but it's a ticket for one free hug.
Aww. Cute.
This woman is precious and must be protected at all costs.
Right, okay, I'm gonna hold on to this.
A whole hug? Yeah, Shanahos, don't spend it all at once.
Can you get it in installments? Just you get a one-armed bro hug, and then you can get like, multiples
you can
of
get
those.
2 of those.
Yeah.
And yeah, she.
But yes, what do you want the feather for?
It sort of focuses the ritual a little bit. I'm not a wizard or a sorceress or anything like that, but it's something I worked on with a tender friend a while back. We saw him back there, Bob.
Oh yes, I know Bob quite well.
Yes, he's
shame about all of his family dying. Yep.
It was very sad. But he's very good about it.
Yes, he really is.
Unlike some people, he is very good.
Yeah. It was a great shame. I'm glad he moved away from Ashbarrow. After that, it wasn't safe. It wasn't good for him to be there. Well, it was actually that was how he was working his way through it. He helped me sort of come up with it. So I suppose it is a little bit druidic, but it's sort of communing with the tree and using the power of the tree to sort of help drive whatever it is that's gotten into Leandric out of him again. And we might be able to sort of purify it.
Okay. So something of an exorcism?
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, that implies that he doesn't know what he's doing or if he's like under the influence of something else.
Well, you said you scryed on him. Did you think
Yes.
that would be a fair thing to say?
What I can say is he wasn't in his right mind.
But he did he still look like a rather handsome young Luma man?
I wouldn't say young anymore.
Well, I haven't seen him in a few years, of course. We've all got a little older.
Did he seem otherwise?
He didn't have a huge amount of slime on him.
Yeah.
He didn't look like a slime.
No.
But can slimes possess people?
Well, up until about an hour ago, I would have said no. That seems insane. But you've told me an awful lot of insane things recently, yes. Last I heard, it was all about making furniture.
Oh, yes, we heard about that.
And
yes,
in
nobody
fairness,
sit on anything in there, okay?
Well,
just in case, you know?
Back when we were mucking around with it, the furniture was very clearly a slime, sort of clear green, but he was trying to work on making it look more realistic, because it was apparently putting people off, witches, I suppose. there.
Yeah, no one wants
Right.
a match like a bed that looks at you.
Conversely, though, no one wants to be surprised by
No.
a bed that looks like a bed and then suddenly is a slime. So I see
Mm.
where he was coming from.
There was an awful lot of mimics out winnowing reachways a little while back as well. I heard about
Mhm.
one that was pretending to be a chapel. That was rather
Oh,
yes.
that's
That sounds appalling.
Few years ago now. I think it was 20 odd years ago. I think, but yes,
it's
very.
pretty smart for a mimic.
It was.
Quite impressive, really.
Well, yes, they had to call the Perch Guard out to deal with it. And the poor thing had to be put down. Any mimic that large, is very dangerous. It ate several people. But yes, I imagine a building blinking at you is somewhat intimidating. Anyway, she continues leading you down. Where are we? This sector of the Undercommons is completely devoid of life. All the citizens have been evacuated and the streets have become petrified root tunnels. Sage stops at a diverging passage. Leandric once brought me here to share his progress. The three of us together, had a bigger lab closer to the surface, but this is his private sort of study. What I saw in here made me finally realize that he was lost. His dreams of helping had become twisted fantasies. My dear friend had defiled the slimes with malicious magic and forcing them into unconsenting servitude as unnecessary furnishings. It was... If they felt pain, To get to his study, we'll have to travel. I'm afraid single file. It's quite narrow. And she gestures down a narrow alley that you might have walked straight past without her being there with you.
Julio will Julio will try to be stealthy and go in front, checking for traps.
It is also worthy to note, Julio, that I feel like whilst it is covered constantly, or regularly, usually, the cover really doesn't stop you seeing out of your eye. It's just to stop it bothering other people. It doesn't affect... The cover doesn't really affect its abilities, particularly. But looking through your eye at the moment, this tunnel is black as night. It is pitch black, as in more like there's nothing there. Like it's a void. Like it's a static. Like snow on the TV. However, for everybody else, the tunnel has a slight light blue glow to it. And anybody who has dark vision, which I believe is
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yes, you may. Can see reasonably well. And I will put you on the map.
Oh shit! Should I
That's
roll?
a 4 for my Arcana check, so
Yeah.
I perceive nothing.
It doesn't feel magical. The glow does not feel like a magical effect.
DM, should I roll a stealth and investigation for traps?
You may, absolutely. Stealth and investigation, one after the other, please. Yes.
Yeah. I want to make sure that we're not
Sage.
walking into something.
How much further travel do you anticipate there being until we come across his
Oh, it's not super
place
far.
of residence?
Okay.
Okay,
Couple of 100 feet.
great. Hope, time to come out. And Hope will come out, and I will say,
Oh my goodness. Oh, he, she, they, it,
she.
what?
Well,
She.
I mean elementals, right?
Well-
I tend to refer to Hope as she, but
Well, she's gorgeous. Oh, aren't you marvelous? Hello. She goes into her bag again and pulls out some, like, it's a wicker, like a doll made of, like, it's a wicker humble folk of some sort. It's not detailed enough to be one specific kind. It's not a servant, but it's one of the small mammalian types. And she says, "Here you go. Would you like a treat? There you are." And yeah, Hope just necks it. And yeah, just pounds it. It immolates almost immediately. It's tinder. And yeah.
If we get into a particularly dangerous situation, Hope you're to take Sage out.
And not to kill. That means to teleport away.
Oh well,
Hope like gets the shotgun and racks.
I'm taking her out.
She chuckles and she says, "Gosh, what a clever little thing you are." Very well. I'm excited to try. Well, I hope this doesn't have to happen, but if it does, that sounds very exciting. Thank you.
So, DM, the timer is on now for an hour of Hope.
Cool. No worries. Yeah, give Hope the boomstick. Very well. A 29 on stealth. How far ahead of everybody else are you going, Julio?
Not too far. I want to be like 20, 25 feet in front, just making sure that if anything gets triggered, Sage is far enough from the blast or,
Very well. And an 18 on investigation. The blue light is being emitted by, slimes on the walls. Loads of them. Small ones, big ones, none larger than a dinner plate. And it's not very well lit, but it's well lit enough that you can navigate in here. They all glow a soft blue-green, and they emit light at a 10-foot radius. They are, however, more grouped than that. And Sage says, "Oh, these are fungus. These are fungus feasters. They should be harmless. It's a fungiphage. They're a problem down here in the roots, but they don't normally glow this much. It's barely bioluminescent at all. So interesting.
Do they seem like they track our movement in any kind, or they just like they're chilling?
Doesn't seem to be. You do not find any traps or anything like that. However, like looking around the floors, the floors and walls are dirt, not rock. You are in the ground now, not in the roots, not even the petrified roots that were dead around it. This is straight up just dirt. A burrow. And it seems not to have been dug by a sentient being. Somebody, like, when humble folk dig burrows, it is done with, they tend to go in reasonably straight lines. This is very organic. This is very, someone, whatever dug this, did it looking for grubs or something. Like, it was probably dug by something that was just a burrowing creature and didn't do it with any particular order in mind. So, yes. You can all put yourselves on the map. You are basically in the bottom right-hand corner. And proceeding up the routes. I think we will actually take a short little breaklet there. Before we head into the second part of the story, because we've been going for an hour and a half, and we're having a lovely time so far. So, guys, we will be back in 5 to 10. Enjoy our break screen and the fun music that goes along with it, and we will see you very shortly, guys. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Avast, ahoy, and g'day, mateys. We be back for some more Humblewood. So I should now show you the little maplet that we've got. Map. There we go. So yeah, that's where the guys are. And yeah, Julio, you are just coming up to the corner. I'm actually gonna pop in I've got a little Sage as well. She's there with you.
Yes, I was about to say, can't see our companion there.
Sage is hanging out with you. So Julio has done a little bit of scouting up the front.
Yeah.
And yeah, you come to the front of the tunnels. Secret tunnel. And the tunnel varies in width. At their narrowest, they are no more than 5 feet wide, and the ceilings are low, causing you to have to duck slightly in places. Julio does not struggle with that, but the rest of you. After about 100 feet of twisting passage, the space widens to a better lit area. A cavity about 50 feet below where you started. Essentially just a broader bit of tunnel, some 25 feet wide and lined with enormous glass containers. Stoppers fasten breathing tubes into the empty vessels. And Julio, you are standing, not at the doorway because there is no door, but yeah, you are standing at the entrance to this wider part of the passageway. Do you wait for everybody to sort of catch up with you?
I will, as they try to like get through the thinner part of the tunnel, I will like go in and like inspect to see if there's any like traps or anything you're waiting for them.
Very
I
well.
want to at all times to be like in front sneakily, so that like I can clear the path for Sage and the gang.
Very well.
Conversely, Bron is definitely purposefully at the back at all times because his armor is clanky.
Right. Okay. Sage
Sorry,
also.
everyone.
Sage isn't
Bringing up the rear.
I love that finally we've included somebody in this party who isn't ridiculously good at stealth. So yeah, Sage is also not particularly stealthy. She's probably trying, but she's just not like, yeah. She's walking as quietly as a normal person with absolutely no skill at it could be. She has stopped she's quite talkative. She loves chatting with people. And yeah, the whole journey here was talking about you guys and your adventures. She's heard some of the stuff that Cash, Julio, and Eric got up to. She's been badgering you with questions, but not like, oh my god, you must have been so scared when you fought that big thing. It was like, and what did you have for dinner the night before you did that? Like, that sort of just weird things, like little, like, slice of life things. And how, are your parents proud of you? That sort of thing. I bet they are. I bet they're really impressed. I would be. I'd be very proud of you. And yeah.
Well, that's a long story.
Technically, probably, theoretically, yes, they are. Granny is quite happy now. So,
Bron, do you want to stay further back with Sage and Kesh and I to be kind of in between Julio and you?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
right.
I guess Kesh, it's up to you, but I'm happy to be kind of in the middle.
Eric is the filling of this particular sandwich. And yeah, Cash moves herself
It's a
up.
spicy feeling because of the whole hope thing.
Absolutely. And Hope, yeah, is sort of hovering near Sage's shoulder. Cool. Right, well, Julio, you make your way up. You find this room full of jars.
Yeah, I have questions about the jars.
I'm not
You
surprised.
said, yeah, you were saying there were tubes out of
Breathing
the jars?
tubes. Yeah.
Breathing tubes.
Yeah.
So
Looks like a
tell me
big,
more about that.
quite a thick glass straw through a cork stopper. No, they wouldn't be cork. They would be like actually rubber. They would be a thick orange rubber. It has all the vibes of sort of turn of the last century chemistry lab. Sort of the place where sort of penicillin was invented, that sort of thing.
Right.
Where everything pipettes and like old style thick rubber. Bron kind of sees it, I imagine, and go ooh. It is like Gert's workshop, but less ordered.
Right. Is something floating in the jars?
No, but if you want to have an investigate on the jars themselves, you are very welcome to.
Yeah, I will. I will add a D4 with it with a guidance
Very
and
well.
try to investigate.
Very well. 22
so-
plus, yeah? Plus
23.
1. 23. You do find in the jars some residue from slime. And it is... most of it is black, but there are a few that are different colors. There is a green, there is a red. It's quite a deep red, like a blood red, but it's not blood residue. It's just that's the color of it. There's a deep sort of moss green one as well, and at the far end, there is one jar that does still seem to have slime in it. It is. I will click it on the map, so there will be a little circle show up. That one there does still seem to have orange slime in it.
Right. But does the slime seem to be aware of anything?
You are very, very stealthy.
That's
I
fair.
imagine you are being extremely quiet and stealthy. With a 23, this orange slime does appear to have something floating in it, but it's in a jar, and at the moment it appears quiescent.
What does that mean?
Sorry, it's not moving. It's sort of just sitting, just being.
I see. Okay, I will whisper back to the group, like, there's one slime at the end of the tunnel. If you want to talk to it or stealth by, up to you. And I will just carefully move to the end of the room to like take guard as they file in.
It, as soon as you say that, it begins slooping at the walls of the jar that it's in, trying to like black at the glass. Looks like it's trying to get out, but not aggressively.
This wouldn't have happened if you took message.
You know what else wouldn't happen? Eric fucking talking if I murder you in your sleep. So, don't get too froggy, Mr. Man. Okay, so is it trying to get out as in please let me out, I'm so scared, or I'ma fuck you up?
Insight.
Fair, that's fair. I'm gonna guidance myself because I'm not very good at insight. I'm not a very insightful motherfucker. So that's a big 13.
A big 13. It does not appear aggressive.
Okay. I won't touch it, but as Sage, for example, crosses the line of sight, I would like meaningfully look at Sage because Sage talked about communicating with slimes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave that for Sage. I'm just gonna like stand guard here and be sure that no one is like coming to get us.
Very well. Yeah. Sage would come in and says, "Oh, aren't you, darling? Oh, who trapped you in there? Who got you stuck in there?" And yeah, the slime in the jar gathers itself around what was floating in it, which now that you're a little bit closer, and I've moved everybody else in as well, if Sage is getting close, it's a skull. It is quite a small skull of a gerbine, and it is covered in glowing runes, softly glowing runes, and the slime sort of gathers around it, and this head, roughly of a gerbine, scloops out of the slime, the sort of the mass of it, and now it has a head and neck made exclusively of slime, looking down at you, and it sort of tilts its head, the slimy ears, like it's trying to understand. And it looks like this. If you want a little bit of a close-up on him, I'll pop him up on the stream. Yeah, there you go. It's quite cute. As she's talking about, "Aren't you darling? Look at you. Who stuck you in there?" And she said, "And who put a skull in it?" Oh dear. Oh.
From
It
our
shouldn't.
experience, the skulls grow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Oh, do you think... Oh, right, I see. The skull might be made of slime. Well, then he's gotten better at it. This is far more detailed than anything he managed to make out of slime before. Yeah.
Do you know if he may have... Would there have been an original skull somewhere? Or is it all artificial?
Eric, are you looking at this closely?
Yes.
You can make me a history or perception check.
Okay. I will mention we've seen many different types of skulls, so it's unlikely that there's one prime skull that they're all replication.
No, I just mean, like, did someone die to have to, you know...
Yeah.
Sorry, you said history or what?
History
What was
or
the other one?
perception. I think what it would be actually is it's history, but if you are proficient in perception and not history, you would be proficient in history for this. If that makes sense.
Right.
It's
Okay.
remembering something you saw.
Okay. Would you like me to make a different roll then?
Any history check with your proficiency.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
So proficiency is 4, so that's a dirty
20.
I think it's 4.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Level 10 should be. Yeah, cool. Dirty 20. This is the exact same skull that was on the desk next to Leandric when you scryed on him.
Huh.
That did not have
this skull
slime
is
around
familiar.
it.
Yes.
Oh.
And that's the only time that we've seen this skull. Otherwise, we haven't
Well,
seen it manifest in other slimes.
Well, this actually looks very like the one that you saw talking to Mihai when you scried on Mihai. It was orange and it's the same one. It's the same slime.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about the skull in it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a Jobeen skull. It was a little Jobeen skull. This one would be no more than 2 foot tall. It's not even as big as your average Jobeen.
Right. Okay. This is the same slime that was accommodating Mihai.
Oh,
And
does it
at
react
that
to
name-
Mihai?
At that name, yeah, the eagerness to get out intensifies.
Oh shit, I think it knows something about Mihai.
I think we should let it out.
Yes, I think so too.
Yes, I think that would be nice. That would be kind, wouldn't it? And Sage says, "Can you young man," and turns to Bron and says, "You're strapping and tall. Would you get the lid off? I can't reach." She probably could reach, but it does look like it's probably quite tight.
You're muted.
You're muted. Yeah.
Balls. Yeah, cool.
Balls.
I guess I take the lid off then.
You do that, and pretty much immediately this thing galoops out, and in the manner of jam running down the outside of the jar it was in, gloops down to the floor and then squelches away across to, I think it was Eric who said the name Mihai, so it is Eric that it gloops towards, and immediately
I'm right next to it, basically.
with a sort of a high-pitched squeal, and it sort of, I'm imagining it like Flubber, if you remember that movie. That sort of manner of
Oh, it's my favorite movie. Of course, I remember.
trilling noise. This high-pitched sort of trilling as it gloops around your feet quite rapidly. It moves like a slug. Like you can't really. There doesn't seem to be any motive power, but it's sort of scooting around you, and almost like a dog that's happy to see you sort of grabs onto one of your legs and goes, like a little hug. And then then it goes over to Bron and exudes a pseudopod and sort of strokes down one of his legs.
Yeah, I think Ron would have gone to give it a high five. Then be like, oh.
It high fives you.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, cool.
I think, Eric has the same thought. Eric would cast Primal Savagery to put out an acidic hand to shake.
It reaches out and then recoils and scoots backwards towards Bron very quickly.
Ooh, that was an accident. No, he didn't mean that. It's okay.
Oh, no.
Aww.
Yeah.
I thought it was acidic, so that would be... So that
most
was the thing.
most slimes are. Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird. Sorry, and I shake off the acid and I put out my hand again. Let's try again.
It very gingerly comes back, and a pseudopod, very long and thin, sort of snakes toward you, kind of like it's sniffing you with the end of its finger, and sort of bops you, and then goes back.
Yeah.
GM Workshop is raiding. Guys, thank you very much for the raid, you bloody champions. Big raid. Favorite raid modes up in chat. Potatoes in chat, guys. If you have them, let those potatoes fly. Does GM Workshop still use the potatoes? They do. There's the potatoes. Yeah. We've got our goose raids. They've got potatoes. Hey, Pereira. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us, guys. We are playing some Humblewood. We are doing Descent into the Dark, which is a not yet published module of Humblewood. Actually, I think it has been published, but only as a standalone, not as part of the book Humblewood Tales, which is coming soon from the Hit Point Press. So yeah, we're running that with my Humblewood crew, and this is a new one, the Elements and Evil Gang. Toad, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, mateys, you wee scallywags. Guys, how the heck was your game? GM Workshop, raiding and fading. Have a great stream. No worries, mate. Rackham, you bloody champion. Good on you. Guys, if you want to check out some amazing D&D content and the Baldur's Gate content as well, you could do far worse than checking out the wonderful GM Workshop. He's an excellent guy, and you can also they also run Dragonlance over there at the moment with
nice.
AJ Winters and Dreaded GM, and I think Dag as well. Good gang, good group. Go check that shit out. Yeah, thanks very much, Toady, and we will continue the adventure. The gang has just found a little baby slime. In fact, Sage, the NPC that they have met, says, I think it's odd that you said that its slime seems familiar. I think that is a familiar.
What?
I think he might this little fellow might be a slime familiar.
Interesting.
Is that possible?
Belonging to Leandric.
Well, maybe. But he's very friendly.
It seems to remember me, hi?
And also, it was kind of like trapped in this bottle.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe it changed allegiances or something.
Well, the skull is interesting. It seems far cleverer than a slime of this size should be. Hey, Blackberry Starkthorn, good to see you. Yeah, instant pet, and it's very cute. Yes.
Pet, yes.
Take me over. Keep the slime pet.
And the Lorite is also raiding. Double raid,
cat.
guys.
Oh my
Thank you.
God, hi!
Hello.
Welcome.
Hell yeah.
Come in. We're trying to adopt a pet.
Yay, pet slime.
Well, little chap, could you lead us to Mihai?
Yeah, it trills again and rushes around and between your legs, like figure eighting between your legs, Eric, and then scoots rapidly up the corridor. So I will light the way. This is light vision. I want a reveal. No, fog. Want to reveal in a circle. No, let's reveal in a square. That'd be, yeah. No.
When the
there you go.
slime tries to lead us somewhere, does it seem like sneaky and afraid of like making
It
noise?
does
or
a
is it
little
just
bit,
like-
yes. It scoots off. It goes very rapidly, like it's running.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it scoots all the way up this corridor.
Ooh.
And yeah, guys, thank you so much, Laurite. Off to have something to eat. No worries. Enjoy your lurk. Thank you very much for bringing your folkses here. So yes, it scoots quite rapidly up the corridor, and Sage says, "I don't know about you lot, but I think we should follow quickly."
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe still try to do a bit less noise. If this is a slime working against Leandric right now, we should, make sure we're not observed too quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can somebody type exclamation mark stealth in chat? The first one I see will be the one I use for Sage.
Don't stress about it. And I snap my fingers and I cast Pass Without Trace.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Well, you still need to do the stealth.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
Shanahouse rolled a 13 for
That's not bad.
Shanahouse rolled a 13 for Sage, which is pretty good. Makes it she would have a +1 in Dex, so that makes it a 24 for her with the Pass Without Trace. So yeah, she's pretty stealthy.
27 from Kesh.
Nice.
Is this
Nice.
dim light? DM?
Yeah, it would be dim light.
Ooh, +10
So-
bonus to stealth checks. Okay, great, because I'm at
That
disadvantage.
means I have 39 now.
39.
I got a 22 with advantage.
Nice.
Nice.
As in
That's not bad.
And a
a
plus
5
7.
and a 7. A 5 and a
I
2.
rolled a 2 and a 5.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
Oh. Wait, don't use that one. It should be a disadvantage. So I got to use the lesser out of these two. Sorry, I thought it would automatically do that.
But, yeah, a 6
so it's
or
16.
a 7. 16 total. Thank goodness for Pass Without Trace. Yeah, you are not, like, everybody except Bron is really quite quiet. Yeah, Kesh got a 27, Eric got a 22, even Sage got in the mid-20s. So yeah, but Bron, clank, 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 clank. It's more like clank, 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 but it's still, it's just slower. And yeah.
I did oil my armor recently.
Oh, there is that, yeah. So yeah, the slime scoots ahead quite rapidly and runs up a corridor. Ooh, hey, what would that be? It was probably about 50, 60 feet. Yes, heading on up, it comes to a door and goes under it. And similar to the way Eric saw it before, the skull sort of just squishes down and it scoots under the door. It's sort of, and then Julio, just managing to keep up, sees the tendril scoop back out from underneath and beckon, and then go back in underneath again.
Is this door locked?
Nice.
I don't know. Well, I do know. Do you go to it and try it?
Well, Julio's leading the way, so I think that's up to Julio.
Yeah,
to-
I'm gonna do my rogue things. I'm gonna look it over first. If it doesn't have any weird mechanisms, I'll try to open
Yeah,
it.
an investigation check, please. So yeah, Slimy Boy
Okay.
has gone in through there, and you guys are sort of keeping up.
Oh, that's
Keeping up
rough.
with the Slime
well,
Boy.
with the guidance, that's 14.
14.
14 on investigation.
It is locked, and does not appear trapped.
Okay. Well, time to get out my lockpicks. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Nobody look. Everyone turn their back.
Is it
Oh, is
everyone?
Is
turn
this sort
away.
of a performance anxiety thing? Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't know
well,
that. Hmm.
Well, you've got this. I'm sure you'll be brilliant.
Thank you.
Purera, can you roll me a d10 in chat, please?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Do I roll my thing?
Oh yes, yeah. You go for it.
Okay. Oh,
Been a while since
that's
Julio's had to lockpick anything.
25.
25.
Nice. This
Not
is
too
why we
bad.
turn around.
I'm going to assume it's because of what Purera is going to roll for me, hopefully. I need a D10, exclamation mark, roll space 10, please.
I think Purera has rolled a stealth check, so I think they're lurking.
Well,
up.
there's
All right.
there's
Tony got a
Tony
9.
rolled for us.
Tony got a 9. Ooh,
Is that good
okay.
or bad?
No, that is good. She reaches into her bag and pulls out. I'm sure you'll be brilliant. And gives you a little folded handkerchief square of green silk embroidered with bright red strawberries.
Oh, thank you. What's this for?
For you. You're doing such good job.
Thank you. I have a little handkerchief.
You do.
I put it in my pocket.
Eric
And
will
that,
exchange a look with Julio and be like, "Yeah, weird, right?"
random presents for no reason other than to
Yeah.
like this is essentially guidance. But like, she
okay,
did this
cute.
before you do that. She's like, oh, it's okay. He gets nervous. Never mind. Well, I'm sure you'll be great. And gives you just reaches into the bag and pulls out a handkerchief, and then it's like, there you go. It's just random present bag. Thank you, Tony.
I love that.
Yeah, cool. She, you pick the lock, and as the lock clicks, you hear from inside, "Please don't come in. I'm fine in here. Really, I don't want to leave. It's great. I like it down here." And it's the voice of Mihai.
Hey, Mihai, that's us.
And I'll open the door slightly to wave and see if there's anything else in the room.
There is, and I am revealing it now.
Oh shit!
There you
Oh
go.
shit!
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Yes. So cuddled up on the bed with Mihai is the little slimy boy. And there is a little Jabine in there who you recognize. She is in a clean-looking robe. Clean? No, it would be quite... it's not soiled, but she's clearly been wearing the same clothing for several days. The room is, however, quite cozy. It has the vibe of a studio apartment. A small kitchenette is in one corner, a couch fits along one wall, and a decent-sized bed covered in pink and purple cushions fits into a niche behind the door. The walls of the room are caked in the same bioluminescent slime found throughout the tunnel system. The only thing you would have noticed from outside of it was that there was a glow from underneath the door. Same color light, but it's just brighter in here. There are a lot of slimes on the walls in here. They seem to have clustered. Indeed, the side of the room that is where Mihai currently is has more of these slimes on it than the far side of the room. Yeah. And she says, "Oh, Julio, I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for coming."
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Slimy here's been looking after me. I haven't thought of a better name for him. Or
That's
her, or
understandable.
it. I don't know. But they're very friendly. Hi. Good to see you. Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I'll wait when everyone is like filtered into the room. I'll close the door behind us so that if anyone patrols the corridor, it's like untouched.
Yep.
And say,
Well, you were yoinked, and many others too. Have you seen anyone else? Any Corvums? Any more like humble folk?
No, I haven't seen anyone since I got sort of snatched up. I'm not actually sure exactly what happened. It was we were looking for the people who got snatched, me and Shayax.
yeah.
And then I felt this sort of wet slapping on my back, and then everything went very dark. And it was really hard to breathe for a little while, and then I kind of blacked out, I think. And then I woke up here with Gubert Gottfried.
Nice. Nice.
With this little thing looking at me, and yeah, it was a bit unsettling at first, but it's been really kind, and I've heard voices. I've heard, I think, several voices from outside. I did hear people, but I didn't see anyone.
So you haven't seen anyone else while you've been here, just the slime?
I haven't been allowed to leave. The door's been locked the whole time, and I'm no good at picking locks.
Have you been
Did you see
fed?
anyone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you see anyone like and I'll explain how Leandric looks. Did you see anyone like that?
I haven't seen anyone. Or do you
And
mean
no one
when
told
we
you
were
why
looking
you were
around?
here?
No. No, I've just sort of been kept. You should know though, I think all the furniture in here are mimics or something. As they move and
Yeah.
they...
Slimes.
Slime. Is it? Okay. Can slime do that?
Not
Sometimes.
normally.
These ones can.
Yeah.
Right.
Do they seem hostile at all?
No, very friendly. The pillows on the bed were blue.
Oh, that's kind of cool, I
but-
guess.
And then they were yellow, and then they went red, and then they went purple, and I think I said out loud, "Ooh, that's a nice color," because I was trying to be friendly, and it hasn't changed since.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah.
It's like a mood ring.
Do they slimes communicate with you at all?
I think they try to. Don't you? And the little one on the bed sort of trills and blops up and down.
Cute.
Like, but nodding is about all I can really get from them. But I don't speak any other languages. I just speak Common and Jerbine. And I would have thought that this one might speak Jerbine, and he definitely understands it, but doesn't mimicking a slime or a gelatinous cube.
I was going to suggest that we could leave this room as kind of a safe spot, and if we find other people to send them here, but perhaps that's not such a good idea. Perhaps I could have Hope escort Mihai out.
Oh, in Slimeception.
I'm pretty sure Bihai is good enough at finding her way. If we want to like send her back to the entrance, we might need Hope for Sage if we get in trouble.
Oh, yes. I mean, the journey would take like a minute, but yes, either way. Yeah.
I can if the door's open, I'll go. I'm really sorry. I'd come with you if I. What's down here?
No,
Do you
no,
even know?
Not really. We have an educated guess, you could say.
It might be the person that arranged all of this, so we're not too keen on
Well,
people coming along.
I assumed that. Okay, I'm not I'm not a warrior. I'm afraid. Otherwise, I mean, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Otherwise, I can.
Bad is that you're safe and unharmed. We need you to go back home. Shax has been worried sick. So if you can find a way back by yourself, that'd be great. We'll try to find everyone else who's been lost here.
How many others?
Yeah.
There was a couple, but when we went looking, but I was a bit embarrassed because I was looking and then I became the third person.
Right. It's we know of 5, including you, I think.
Oh,
Actually
wow.
4, including you. But maybe there was more while we were gone.
We witnessed some attempts that we
Yes.
foiled.
Right? Yeah.
Punched him good.
Punched them good.
Which was surprisingly effective considering it was slime.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
punch was very effective.
Anyway, you should probably leave.
Okay. All right. Well,
Shall we
yeah,
send
which-
Hope to fly along till Mihai
Well,
gets to the exit, just to make
what-
sure?
what way do I go?
Follow Hope. Hope will
Right.
take you.
Right. Okay. Okay. Cool. So she goes to the door, and the couch and the table move rapidly and very gloopily. They sort of and sloop towards the door, and both of them transform into a sort of lattice work, preventing her from getting to the door. And
that's an issue.
The little slime, the little Gerbine slime with the skull in it, squeals very high pitched and runs over and sort of wraps itself around her leg, and looks like it's trying to pull her back.
Slimes, Mihai needs to go home now.
And the little slime, when Mihai stops trying to go towards the door, the little slime scloops up in front of Kesh's face and shakes its skull rapidly.
Is something bad, like, is something bad going to happen to Nia if she crosses the door?
The slime sort of sloops right back down again, like cowers, and nods.
Okay.
Are you under strict orders from Leandric to not let anyone out?
At the name Leandric, its ears perk up. And it nods.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, if you've waited this long, hopefully it won't take us too long to talk to Leandric.
Right.
Maybe
My only
an
issue
hour
with
or
that
so?
plan is that if we go to Leandric and it doesn't go very well and he feels vengeful, she's here alone with a bunch of slimes who are like sworn to do whatever he says, which is not good for us. I'm excited to try and talk to him and do things amicably, but if it doesn't go well,
Hope can get all of us out right now.
The slimes, now that she does not appear to be trying to leave, the slimes are like in the process of slowly returning to their places and original forms as the chair gets to where it is, which on the map is near Bron. It reforms and the colors come back in, like it's fully transforming back into a chair, and it the little slime is sort of patting her on the leg, like it likes her, and yeah, it's chittering something at her. It's like it's trying to communicate. It's valiantly trying to communicate with her.
Can anyone determine if there's any kind of spell or curse on Mihai? Because I'm not concerned about us getting her out of the room. I'm concerned that if we get her out of the room, that something bad might happen because of a spell.
good point.
I thought of that. I unfortunately don't. The closest thing I do is rope trick, which is fun, but it only lasts an hour, so we'll have a time limit. But she'll be in a different dimension for an hour.
that could be actually pretty useful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it's
I don't
not,
have
definitely
detect magic.
not a bad idea. I'm going to reach towards the door, step between the door and Mihai, and put a hand out to Mihai to make it clear that I don't want her to come to the door.
Right.
And I'm going to try the door and see if the slimes stop me from reaching for it.
The slimes do not appear interested in stopping you. However, it is worthy to note that a lot of the lighting in the room has shifted. There are the phosphorescent or the bioluminescent slimes on the walls are now centered in the center of the room, which is where Mihai is standing.
So doesn't seem to mind us going, but definitely minds Mihai going.
Pretty sure it's the orders. Okay, I think road trick is a good idea. I don't suppose we're gonna talk for an hour with Leandric. What happens when the spell ends?
boop, 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 drops out. Anything inside the extra dimensional space, it just kind of and falls out.
Well, then
Okay.
put it above the bed.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
That's
Just a
very
little
clever.
precaution.
I like that. That's a good idea. Yes.
And we're certain we want to do that rather than. I don't want to burn any bridges, but we can just get everyone out.
Yeah, we can, but I feel like the slimes will be agitated, and I'm pretty sure they are like forced to do specific things. So I don't want to do anything.
I think they might be protecting me.
I agree. It looks like
I've heard some pretty nasty noises. I think there's more than one there's more than one person in here.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I've heard several types of footsteps outside. Like I've heard birdfolk feet. I've also heard humblefolk feet, and then I've also heard sounded like somebody wearing clogs, and loads of them.
Like hooved feet type of thing?
Wooden shoes or hooves, I guess, maybe.
So
servants don't have hooves. They have more like footpads.
So it's not just that they don't want you to leave; they also are trying to protect you from other things in here that are dangerous.
That is my suspicion. Because
Okay.
I mean, look at this. They like me. It does make sleeping really hard. Because I'm literally in the brightest part of any room.
the center of attention.
Well, yeah, and normally I'd be up for that.
With the rope trick, Bron, does it have to be activated straight away, or can you kind of leave it there, and if Mihai needs to hide,
That would
she
be
can
cool.
grab it?
No, I don't have a remote control rope trick, but that would be really cool. I'll have to think if I can set that up somehow.
I see Bron's mind going on that one. Hey, Chaotic Goblin.
I mean, you could cast the rope trick, and then Mihai can wait here until she decides she needs it.
Yeah, so what would happen is I get a little piece of rope. It looks like rope. It'll grow upwards, and then it will just kind of like disappear into a different dimension. And if you want, you can climb up the rope and go into the other dimension and then pull the rope up after you, if you want. And you can see out, but no one can see in. And you just chill there.
That's super cool. You're really cool.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
he is.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
And so
then can...
says that is very clever. Yes, I've never seen this. Oh, wow. All right.
Really? Oh, yeah. Lots of fun. I didn't think it'd be useful, but, you know.
Or do we want to try it now and see if the slimes dislike Mihai going up the rope?
A safe place. And I tell you what, as well, if things
means
are
we can
going really badly, and Sage, not Sage, I'm Sage, and Little Hope here needs to get me out. Hope only needs to get me here instead of all the way out of the tunnels, and then I can hide up there with Mihai if I need to. Hi, Mihai.
We can also send other people back here.
And Sage says, "Yeah, you gave me a little miniature, like a bronze figurine once. It was really cool."
You mean Mihai says that?
Did I? Yeah. When I was little.
Poor DM.
Okay.
I like this
sounds
plan.
Yeah. this sounds
Magic
like a good
rope
plan.
hiding spot.
Cool. Yeah, great.
Let's do it.
Can you pull the rope around like a balloon?
No, unfortunately.
That would
It's,
be cool.
Yeah. It's stuck to us once.
well, no,
but
that's-
otherwise, I mean, you don't want your extra-dimensional spaces just floating around. You don't know where
Well,
you'll
no,
pop out.
exactly. Very dangerous, silly idea to have extra-dimensional space just floating around. Silly of me.
I mean, really, it's probably not. Yeah. Anyway, it's perfectly safe. It's being very well tested. Don't worry, it's fine.
Okay. Go ahead. Shibari, let's go.
Great.
Pick someone! Exclamation mark Zombage in chat.
What's Shibari?
Don't worry about it.
So, Bron gets a little bit of rope out, kind of coils it on the floor, and you see him getting out like all of his tools and like tweaking it and all of this stuff, and like kind of hitting it with a hammer, which is weird because it shouldn't be able to do that, but it does. And then at the end, kind of stands back, and it rises up kind of like a magic trick, but I mean, this is the Humblewood, right? So like it looks like it's growing upwards.
Oh, yeah.
Like a tree, and then like it kind of reaches a spot, and like the threads at the end all kind of unravel a little bit, and looks like it's about to bloom, and they go upwards, but then they just kind of in on themselves.
Horrible sound.
Yeah.
Very upsetting.
There's been a lot of those noises, but I wasn't doing them. Cool.
So yeah, it kind of folds in on itself, and kind of you see a very faint outline of where space kind of doesn't work quite right.
And Mihai goes, shall I go?
Yeah, have a look. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. John, what does it look like inside?
That's good. That's a good question.
As Mihai climbs this rope, somewhat gingerly at first, like she just holds onto rope that is just hanging in midair, gives it a tug like, and then just climbs. It's like, magic is so cool. And she gets to the top, and her head just sort of disappears. There's a sort of phasey line where her head just sort of, her ears pass through it, and then her head passes through it, and she goes, "Oh, that feels." And then as soon as her mouth goes through, silence. Actually, no. As soon as her mouth goes through, echoey. It's like she's put her head in a cave. She goes, "That feels weird."
That is a very neat rope trick.
And she continues going up. What does it look like inside? What does Mihai see?
So inside there is like there's plenty of chairs and stuff. It says there's room for 8 medium-sized creatures, so it's it's roomy. There's some chairs to sit if you want, and maybe a little small round table for like drinking cups of tea. But then also there's like benches to work on, and there's they look like posters that kind of look like the outside to mirror windows, but there aren't any windows, except there is one window, which is the entrance. Right. So you can, that looks like a window, and you can kind of see through it into back into the room.
You're right.
But otherwise there's like whiteboards for like drawing and ideas, and like
it's Bron's ideal room of this is Bron's ideal room of requirement. Are the walls wooden? Brick? Are there walls? Or is it just sort of a phasey outline of the world outside?
I think it would normally be a phasey outline of the world outside, but Bron's put walls up to be a little less unsettling.
I like it, yeah. I mean, it's his world. He can make it whatever the hell he wants. Yeah, love it. Excellent. Cool. You create a tiny demiplane and put Mihai in it. The slimes seem a little alarmed, but not bothered.
Good.
The table, the chair, and the bed seem alarmed, and then the which is I just fucking love D&D phrases like that. But the little slime with the skull in it sort of pats them, like just strokes them to calm them down. And when she sees them doing that, Sage strokes the top of the desk as well, like, there, she'll be back, it's okay, she hasn't gone anywhere. She's just up there, that's okay, isn't it? Yes. And she takes, she reaches into her bag and sprinkles trail mix across the top of the desk.
Oh my god.
Which immediately, like, sizzles and oozes into the table, and she says, "There you go. Have a little treat." And pats the top of the table. You can't have plates. You can't have plates made of slimes, otherwise all the food just immediately gets eaten by the plate. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Can the 4 of you make me perception checks, please?
Certainly can.
I'm rolling terribly tonight. With a +9, I got a 12.
Oh,
Plate technology. Yeah, very good.
I see things.
that was a nat 1, so a 9.
Julio sees all, however, with a 21. Oh, pardon me. It's probably because Julio is a little bit closer to the ground. Here's this, because this is a hearing thing. You hear from outside the door, which I presume is still closed, because you said you wanted it to look closed. You hear clicking on the floor like bone on rock.
Getting closer?
Like, but it also with the feel of marching. It's several sets of clawed, bony feet.
Ooh.
Moving towards you from
can
from up the passageway the way you hadn't gone yet.
Right. I assume it's a patrol, so I make a sign for everyone to get quiet, and I look through the hole, like for the keyhole to see if I can see anything in the corridor.
Yeah. Everyone being quiet. I'll need a stealth check, please.
Pass without trace
do I also
is
need to
still
roll
gone.
Nat 1, you sneeze.
Yeah, you would absolutely need to make that check, Julio.
Okay.
Can I roll with disadvantage on D&D Beyond?
Yeah, right click on the
hold
thing
the
and then...
button.
Ah, thank you.
This room is not, this is well lit, this room, I'm afraid, Eric. But,
That's sad.
but either way, you did do quite well. A 17 and a 3.
Oh.
That is rough.
I will guidance Bron.
Which makes it a
Plus
7.
3.
Which makes it a 17 with pass without trace.
17,
That's not bad.
so it's like an advantage.
It's way better than
Sure.
advantage.
No, I mean the higher roll was 17.
Yeah. So between you, we got a 32, a 30, and a I think Eric's was a 34. And then Bron's got a 17. So half what Eric got.
Which, to be fair, isn't bad.
No,
It's
no,
just
no.
It's
not
good.
34.
Yeah. It's not bad. However, the clicking comes to a stop outside the front of the door that Julio is looking through. And Julio, you can see through the door a bunch of beings. These are people, or they look to be a little bit. Sid the Cyberman has gifted an inspiration to Bron. Thanks very much, Sid the Cyberman.
Yeah. That can't be retroactively used, can it?
No.
No.
Don't worry.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
You did well. Don't worry about it. Also,
you did fine.
can I just say, what a baller move to do first time chat dropping 8,000 channel points.
Yeah.
That's baller.
Yeah.
Good work.
That means you've been watching for a while, and I remember when you've hit the follow button, so which wasn't all that long ago. So thanks very much, Sid to Cyberman.
Thank you.
Cool. Looking through the porthole, Julio, you see what looks like these beings are shrouded in long cloaks covered in swirling runic designs. Beneath the cowls, however, you can make out you're looking through a very narrow hole, but you can make out not a beak, but a skull with a beak sticking out of the cowl at the top, and that's about all you can see, really. The cloak is a deep red of the one that you are looking at, but there is clearly more than one of them out there. You can only see one, however, through your very narrow viewport.
Right.
And you can see the jingling of a keychain coming out of a pocket.
Okay, question. I don't think we all can hide here, especially with Bron here, but can I use my lock picking skills to counteract them as if the lock is jammed?
Ooh.
Like, no.
Sleight of hand check. Nobody watch.
Like it. Yeah. It's not like someone is like holding the door closed or anything. It's just
trying to
the lock is broken.
break the lock.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the door is
need to-
jammed.
Yeah.
You can't get in.
What a shame.
You said that out loud?
Sorry?
I said to Karen, did she say that out loud?
Yeah.
That'd be funny. Okay.
Sleight of
okay.
hand.
Let's go. Okay. I on my sheet it says I have inspiration. Can I use it?
I don't think you've got inspiration. You do have a D4, by my reckoning.
I have a D4. Okay, then I will unclick inspiration because maybe I forgot to unclick it last time. So then I will use guidance and a D4 just to make sure that I
Yeah.
fucking stop them.
DM, not that I
Okay.
don't have faith in Julio, but I'm gonna stand just behind Julio with my hands reached out over his head in case this doesn't work out.
Okay.
Throttle him.
To fucking kill Julio as soon as he fails.
So that I can
20,
cast a
dirty
spell
20.
over his head.
Oh.
Sage has very quietly sort of shuffled over to the bottom of the rope, and may well scuttle up the rope if combat begins. Where is Kesh and where are Bron? Feel free to move yourselves on the map if you can, if you want to. But I've put Julio where he is and where Erica said he is.
Kesh is gonna back up so I can shoot my bow.
Yeah, yeah.
Ron is
So-
going to badly hide behind the chair.
I'm gonna I'm gonna get behind this desk, ready to shoot things if required.
Very well. Mihai is in another plane of existence. Actually, there is a head.
So she's fine.
There is a head sticking down out of the roof, out of about sort of a
Julio shoots her.
6 inches. There's 6 inches of open air between the roof and the head's neck. But yeah, she's just watching at the moment. She'll bring her head right back in as soon as needed. Julio, with a how'd you do? 20. You burned. You got 17 on the sleight of hand and 2d4, a 1 and a 2. Rough.
Yeah.
Filthy
mean.
20. Filthy 20. I'm gonna roll it. Yeah. You successfully block the lock. Block.
What's lock?
Yeah.
Nobody likes a lock blocker.
There is rustling and sort of clanking as the key is sort of jiggled in the lock. But yeah, you've shoved a piece of your lock-picking kit in there, basically stopping the key from being fully inserted, so it just can't get in. And then it comes back out, and there is a little jangling of keys on a keychain, and a different key is put back in, and like
Nope.
And after about this continues for like a minute.
Did they say anything?
Nope.
Yeah. I
it
don't
is
believe they're
silent.
fucking alive. Yeah.
It is silent out there, and then the clanging stops. And Eric and Julio can make perception checks. You are the ones who will notice this.
Please roll high, Eric.
19.
It's definitely Eric that notices it first. Julio is focused on the lock, and then Eric, you notice
Yep.
on one side of the door, a red ooze starts squeezing through, and on the other side of the door, a green one starts squeezing through, and then underneath the bottom, a yellow one is coming up, and then there is a blue one going over the top.
I didn't think about that, honestly. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, with slimes. Why don't
Listen!
I'm going to.
Who could have foreseen this?
I'm going to use my elbow to nudge Julio out of the way behind
Okay.
me, and I'm going to cast a 3rd level Burning Hand.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come up.
This is a dexterity saving throw, 17,
Yeah.
and it is a 15-foot cone. It's up to you to decide.
Oh,
I don't know if there's any
you get
others
all
behind
four
the
of them.
door if the door blocks or not. Yeah, cool.
What about the bloody door?
How much? What's the DC I need? 17.
17.
And it's a dex save.
Okay.
It
It is a dexterity saving.
Wow, 3 of them pass.
Okay.
That actually makes sense because door. I got an 18 and a pair of 15s on the dice.
Is 5d. Okay, so this is 5d6 plus a D8 because hope is helping me as well.
Nice. Love it.
Okay. So 23.
23 damage, and I
Nice.
half that if you, and they half that if they pass
If
it,
they
right?
succeed.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, wow. I'm going to say the red one is going to take the full. And green slime. And so, yeah. And... Oof, it's a lot. It's a big one. Yeah. You
Hey,
do
Sage,
this...
respectfully, it's time for you to go.
Sage says,
Up to
yes,
it.
yes, I think you're right. I think you're right. And she climbs. Her first turn in this combat will be that. And scooting through the door, you definitely hurt them. There is a squealing and a clacking noise of bone on bone as through the door, scooting under and through and around the door, appearing around you, Julio is standing behind Eric, are 4 figures in robes. Each robe is a different color, and emerging from them are bones, basically. Beneath the cows, you can make out skulls and skeletal limbs, backlit by a faint glow of what appears to be coming from beneath the cloaks. The cloaks themselves are covered in the same kind of runes as the runes on the skull of the little ooze boy, which squeals and chitters and cowers in the back corner of the room as Sage is actually going to pick it up and carry it up the rope. Yeah, so the two of them are going to climb up into the extra dimensional space with Mihai. And we will roll initiative, and then I think we will call it for the evening and do our favorite moments. As Eric does a big whack of damage to them before you even start the fight. Not a bad way to begin a combat. Good job. So, can I get, roll me all,
Bloody 8.
an 8 from Kesh.
My last few rolls were not impressive.
8. Bron gets 17.
I got a dirty 20.
Filthy 20 for Eric. I don't even need to change the one I've got on my list already. And
And 22 for me.
how did the cultists do? 16. Filthy 20 for them as well, actually.
Did you say cultist? We found another cult.
Yeah, how's that a thing
Technically,
again?
it's just, it's what the book calls them. This is slightly different. I've changed what they are. But they are called in the book
Do I have the
Slime
chance?
Sworn Cultists.
So is there a chance for me to become the Pope?
Pope of
That's
Slime!
not our- That's
Slime Pope.
against our cult policy, unfortunately, Bron. We're going to have to let you go.
Yeah.
Quick, someone roll a D100 in chat. We got
also-
shot at a sex cult, everyone.
Out of curiosity, Eric, how is your dex? What's your dex?
I imagine better than Slime's.
Well, you'd think that.
Oh.
It is 16 plus 3.
Theirs is 18, so they will be going before you.
That's
Which
fucked.
does make sense because you have already had a turn. So yeah, Julio will get to have a go, then it'll be their turn, and that works. That makes sense. So I'm going to say
Cool.
for reasons they have an initiative of 21. Who's cultists? Cool. So yeah, it'll be Julio, the Oozes, then Eric, Bron, and Kesh, which is, I think, the exact same order the last fight you had. Splendid. Well, we will call it for this evening then, guys. All of your attendant NPCs are out of harm's way, unless these things decide to climb up into an extra dimensional space. And the rope starts being pulled back up as well as soon as they get up there.
They're on this ship. I have faith in them.
No, I don't think it does. I think they would leave the rope down. Unless one of the cultists actually tried to climb it.
Aha.
Makes
I
sense.
think-
I mean, they can see through, so they can decide
Yeah.
at any time.
I reckon
They can
there's
have a readied action.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If it looks like someone's going to try and invade their extra-dimensional space, they will remove the rope. But yeah,
You've really got to respect people's personal
Ex-
interdimensional space.
but yes, it's literally a pink bubble. Alrighty, well,
Come
guys,
on,
thank-
dude. Surely you got the hints that I wanted my own space. I literally cast a spell to make my own dimension.
Yeah, take a hint.
I just
well,
thought it was free.
glorious, guys. Thank you so much for playing with me this evening. I hope you've had a good time. Ooh, did we roll a sex cult?
No,
got
no,
a
no.
4.
No, we got a 4.
we've got
So no
very
sex
far
cult
away.
today.
If they get a 69 on the dice, John, I have to put a sex cult in the game. It's already happened once, and I did do it. Barovia.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lich. He had a sexy party. Yeah. And a lot of
Cool.
the party were like, "Ooh, maybe we should." No. Like,
No.
Trish was very upset to discover they were actually just ghosts or illusions, because she's like, "No, a 3-way doesn't count if it's illusions."
I guess.
Bucket list thing. So yeah. Right. Well, guys, thank you very much for playing. Let's have a bit of favorite moments. So this is something we like to do at the end of our streams for those who are new to the channel. It's something we've stolen unapologetically from the dreaded GM, where we go around the room and say what we thought each other did well this evening, because there've been some cracking moments this evening. So can I get a D5 in chat, please, to determine who goes first? ! Roll space the number 5. Roll space 5. It doesn't have to have the number. Janahos rolls a 5. That's Eric. Starting at the end and working our way along. Love it. And after that, we have Kesh. Thank you very much, Toad. Brilliant. Tony rolled a 3, so it'll be Bron next, and then Kesh. Excellent. Cool. So then it'll be between Daria and I. Alrighty, so, first of all, Eric moments. Favorite Eric moments, everybody.
Yeah, I have one.
Bishop Blood,
I
you bastard.
liked the lack of social graces in the beginning, where Cash is like carefully breaching the subject, like, well,
Yes.
we are discussing slimes. Your friend fucked up. It's like, okay.
Stop pissing about her. Just
Very
tell her.
Eric,
Just tell
like-
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just straight to the point. I liked it. Very in character.
Yeah.
Hmm. Actually, I liked just after that, again for very in character, where we were at the elevator and you were just like, "See you at the bottom." That whole sequence was very fun and funny. Yeah, watching you play was great.
Bishop Blood has stolen mine, but I'm going to say it anyway, and I'm going to elaborate on it. Bob, because we now have apparently decided it is canon that Bob's family died.
Yeah.
Like, I put Bob in as a joke, and then I was like, no, fuck it, let's have Sage know Bob. Yeah, I really enjoyed riffing on that with you. That was very funny.
I love Eric just whipping out the feather from Leandric. It was just the way you kind of built up to that, because I'd totally forgotten you still had that. And then you were like, I pull out his feather, and I was just like, oh my god, of course. That's brilliant. Brilliant, I say. Genius.
Oh, yeah. Bishop Blood
yeah.
also says the acid handshake. That was cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like
was
the logic
sad
behind
that
it. I like the logic behind it. It just doesn't really... It's not very smart. Yeah. Somewhere between a Labrador and a very young child, like, intelligence-wise.
yeah, right. Okay. So it is acidy. It just didn't realize.
It didn't
that
know.
Wouldn't.
Like, well, also,
Yeah.
it's like your hands go like claw-like as well, don't they? Like, I think, yeah, there is a degree of physical manifestation.
Look, it's fair response. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's magic
But-
too. Yeah. And your magic is all fire related, I figure. So yeah, there might have been other reasons, but I thought it was in character for it. But it was a really lovely character choice for you. Yeah. Favorite self?
I mean, I would like to elaborate a little bit on having the initial conversation with Sage, because it felt like Cash was struggling and needed the help to say this potentially hurtful thing. So
Yeah.
Eric did it knowingly, not as a, oh, for fuck's sake, let's get on with it, but of like, okay, I'm going to take the bullet for Cash.
Yeah.
So that Cash can continue being on Sage's good side and still have this conversation.
The sweetest lady we've met for a long time, and I have to tell her devastating news about an old friend of hers.
Yeah.
But you didn't. I did, so it's fine.
Down there?
Yeah.
No, you're okay. She's just making a hacking noise, so.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I love that for us for later.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was probably. Oh yeah. Another one that I liked was when we were having to go through the thing following Little Slime Boy. And like, oh, fine. I was resisting using the spell slot, but that's fine. Let's just pass without trace.
Yeah.
It's just very funny using that every time of the idea of having to make a stealth roll basically becoming a joke.
Well, with Bron with you now, there's an outside chance it might not work. Like, I'll be honest, these things did hear you. But there's a reason.
They clearly did.
There's a reason that they heard you, and later on you may. Well, I think Bron does know it because Bron.
All these oozers snitched on us.
Well, no, it's because Bron asked Gert, and Gert said they can sense. They have tremor sense. They feel vibrations. They see through vibrations. But so yeah, if you're moving around at all,
they
basically,
vibe checked Bron.
Yeah. Exactly.
Someone's got a vibrator in their pocket, gave the whole game away.
I mean, yeah, Bron has any number of ticking things.
That reminds me of Auntie Donna. For those who get it, you get it, and those who don't, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's such a weird one. That one. Cool. Alrighty. Well, splendid. Now I believe it was John's turn. Favorite Bron moments, everybody. I'm gonna jump straight in with the description of the interdimensional space.
Let's be honest, we're all trying to get in with that one. That one was great.
I have a different one. I liked Bron really is a lovely outsider straight man type of vibe in the group, where like, oh yeah, Bob, Lamau, see you later, idiots, and it's like, to the roots. Or something. He was like, let's go. Okay. So like, anyway, very, very adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that. It was fun.
I actually wrote down a John quote today. Hey, look, a lift.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was thinking. Yeah, a lift. Very cute.
Like, wow, this conversation's getting a little intense. Oh, look, it's the elevator.
Yeah, shamelessly leverage my character's character. Yeah, cool. Oh.
Brandon?
Is it possible to just name the vibe? I just really enjoy Bron's vibe, and there are like a bunch of intermittent moments between Bron and Eric that I particularly liked. Yeah, I just really enjoy Bron as a character. I think he like almost immediately fit in with the rest of the party. So
yeah.
Cool. I also like the moment when you gave Eric all his money back.
Oh yeah.
And I could see it so vividly in my head, where you just walk past and you see like the price tag hanging off like your dream suit of armor, and it's like 1,500 gold pieces, and you're like,
well,
oh,
can't afford that.
mate. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not based on real life experience at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've looked at suits of armor before and gone like, I just can't swing that. Yeah.
Josh, you have a 3D printer now.
Yeah, I couldn't print a whole suit of armor for myself in it.
You could do some
Not
bits.
with that attitude.
No, I can only do bits about this wide, so yeah, I don't. Making a queer ass would be
Print
tricky.
some chainmail.
Oh god,
Some chainmail or some scale mail.
Ages.
One scale at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got an STL for a samurai mask.
Ooh.
I'm like, that'll be dope. John, favorite self?
I was just happy that rope trick was a good idea. I took that spell. I was like, this will never be used. Great. But I think, I guess, yeah, the bit I liked the most was being able to like reassure the little slime pet when the acid handshake didn't work. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
And like that's what he would do as well.
Yeah.
And,
I liked
just
it.
felt-
It went to you because you were the one that let it out. No other reason. It was like, I like you the most because you let me free. Yeah. And yeah, it was just, it all worked. It was beautiful. Bishop Blood says, bronze winning rope trick moment. Absolutely. Print the rings for ring mail. Yeah, hard pass, Janos.
One ring at a time.
That
Come
would
on,
be,
Josh,
I mean, you can print
do
loads
it.
at a time, but I super don't want to.
There was someone who worked out a way to 3D print chainmail, and basically you just had to kind of clip the strut,
Yeah.
and like they were all interlinked, so you could
Yeah.
print like a patch.
Oh, you can absolutely do that.
Sounds
But
like a
then
lot.
but resin is very fragile. It's very brittle. It's strong but brittle. And it would cost so much resin. Hey Josh,
It'd probably
don't
be
do it.
cheaper to just go buy a bunch of metal rings and
Yeah.
painstakingly link them together.
Yeah, don't worry, Bishop Blood, I won't. Yeah, cool. All right, let's talk about Karen. I think it's Cash Moments next. Yay! Favorite Karen?
I very much liked the conversation with Sage because like you could have just gone straight for the Eric approach, I guess, but consciously chose not to, and like that's cool. You respected, I guess, the characterization that was there, and actually paid it attention and acted like a person instead of just a wandering murder hobo, which sometimes happens in D&D. You know?
Yep.
I had empathy.
We
Can't relate.
we prefer the term.
We know.
We prefer the term locust here.
murder
We sort of a murder locust. Traveling things that kill, that strip everything of any use, and because hobo has unpleasant connotations.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Well,
I'm
this
just.
is a good word for it.
But yeah, locust. We put it to a sort of a group. It was Chat and I discussed it one evening. Somebody pointed that out because I'd never really thought about it before. Somebody pointed out that hobo
really.
isn't a very nice word, and I was like, that's true. It's not a very nice thing to say, even if it's meant as a murder hobo is not really what you're likening it to. But I take the point, so we've gone with locust instead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, locust
yeah.
is a good way because it's traveling, killing
Yeah.
doesn't really like.
I
match
actually
a
think
why.
it's very descriptive. Very, I can't remember who suggested it. I wish I could. Yeah.
I just had a mental image of like adventuring tavern, and then just this swarm of locusts come in, loot everybody, drink all the alcohol, and then just fuck off.
Yeah.
And the barkeep's just standing there. They've eaten his clothes off, and he's like,
Hey, you locusts. Cool. Favorite Karen moments then.
Well, now that fucking Jonathan took mine, I will just say that every time we have to discuss anything with NPCs, I love that Cash is always trying to mitigate any emotional damage, and in the way that not only with Sage but also with Mihai, how Cash is always very careful of their state. I really, really like that. And Mihai might not be feeling too affected now, but as any kid in a stressful or traumatic situation, she will feel it later. And I think Cash understands that, okay, she has to be taken with care right now because this is fucked up.
Yeah. Yes. My favorite moment was actually a Karen moment, not a Cash moment. I have loved your joy at Sage. Just your just smittenness with this NPC, but it made it far more enjoyable for me to play her, having you be just so happy about it. Yeah. Brendan?
She's lovely. Yeah.
My favorite Karen Akesh moment was kind of a Karen moment as well, but it was taking a step back and kind of embracing that. Like, apart from the conversation with Sage, everyone else led stuff, and that, like, that's a sign of a good leader, right? Of being like, okay, this member of my team specializes in stealth and tracking things, so I'm gonna let, and Kesh would have been probably just as good at it as well, but that's kind of Julio's thing. So Julio can lead the party, and we're investigating the slimes. Well, Eric saw this very slime, and that's Bron's thing as well, so I'm going to leave the two of them to it. So that's what I want to acknowledge, is Kesh/Karen stepping back and letting people do their specialties without trying to, without excessively being like, oh, I'm here too, I want to do this too.
Yeah.
Just like being a part of the team, I guess.
Yeah.
I like watching you guys do your thing. It's like, I don't need to intervene. He's got us. It's fine.
And what I did like was when we were dealing with the door, you just saying, you know what, I'm just going to move myself to the back of the room. I know where my place is here. And I thought that was very cool as well.
Because I got a sword, but it's not very good, so why bother?
Cracker's Cool says, thanks everybody, been lurking but listening, great fun again. Cracker's Cool, you are more than welcome. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to have that sort of comment, so thank you very much. It sort of bigs us up. Yeah, alrighty, Karen, favourite self? You say already.
I hadn't. I was kind of thinking about it. I always enjoy, because generally Kesh is quite confident in a weird way. She's like, right, well, I guess we'll do the thing now. So it always amuses me to find situations where she gets awkward or nervous because they're nearly always not entirely the situations I'm expecting. So when she meets Sage, who's just like the sweetest, loveliest, kindest old lady ever, and she's like, oh God, I have to tell her really awful news about her friend that might be like trying to end the world by accident.
Yes.
Just to realizing, oh no, Kesh doesn't want to tell Sage that this is bad.
And not only that, but she sort of feels like it's probably her job too.
Yeah.
So
which part of Kesh is like, Eric,
so cool.
I was trying to do it gently, but also, thanks, Eric. I was really struggling with how to do that without being like...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. Alrighty, and then it's Daria. Favorite Daria moments, everybody.
Is it? Do we need to roll to maybe see if it's your turn?
Oh, I think it's already.
Yeah.
They were already rolled, and it was Daria first. It was definitely Daria first, not me. Fine, it was
I'm
me.
I'm gonna go first then. Counter lockpicking.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, do I need to?
Amazing.
That was very good.
Lock picking. Yeah.
It was it was very good. It was very funny that it was ultimately unnecessary.
Yeah, listen, I tried my best.
I love that I managed to
it didn't
convince you
occur
to
me.
burn an expendable on it.
I was expecting them to just break the door down.
Yeah.
Unexpendable. Oh, the thing.
You managed to get rid of. I got rid of a D4 on it.
Yeah, I thought because you said bones, I'm like, okay, these are just bones. So I didn't think that those were also slimy boys.
Yeah.
But I guess those are probably undercloaks or something. So it made sense for Julio.
When they were reforming, as they sort of merged through the door, the cloaks are slime.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of my...
Yeah.
that was kind of the little sense I was getting. I'm like, it's bones, but there's slime involved, so it's probably the case.
Yeah. And the bones are also slime, by the looks of it. But yeah, the slime, when it reforms, it's like the slime is providing all of the joints and ligaments of a normal body, and the bones are just the structure. So it's slime doing different things. Leandric's abilities appear to have gotten more complicated. this is the next step in the evolution, probably, of his slimes. Things like you saw, the first ones that you saw were just slime. Then there was slime, smart slime, but slime. And then there was slimes with a few bones in that looked even smarter. And these ones are straight up almost mimicking people at this point. Faux bones.
That's a lot of progress over the course of 2 days.
Yeah. It's like he's getting closer
He's
to
really
his goal.
hitting his stride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're just encountering
Don't like that.
things at a more evolved level every time, and he's only got a few of these, so he's keeping them in his lair. Look, there's loads of different reasons.
The DM scaling the difficulty of the combat.
Look, in a meta sense, that's exactly what's happening. But we're talking favorite Dario moments. I'm gonna say Julio picking the lock the first time, and on the way in. And your conversation with Mihai, that was really cute. We hadn't really done any work on Mihai at all, so I was letting you sort of take the lead on what she's like and how she would react to this. Yeah, and that was really good. I really enjoyed the juice.
I loved, like, it's kind of a combined Julio Eric moment. But when they were sussing out the weird bird in the bar.
Yeah, you seen this shit?
Just the two of you going.
Yeah.
I just adjust my magical eye here.
Yeah.
Putting a mental pin in this shit.
Yep.
We will be back.
It was just
that
a
was
wonderful. It was a wonderful little moment that you guys had there.
I very much enjoyed Julio making food for everyone. Like,
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
there's like a way that you manage to incorporate the like features and traits that your character has on paper and actually bring it out in a realistic way. That's you just go, oh yeah, that's right, chef. And it makes total sense. It's and the way you flavor what you can do mechanically is really cool.
At this point, Julio is like you know how Tony Stark says millionaire, playboy, philanthropist. Julio is like pirate, chef, pope.
Yeah.
That's his business card.
Yeah.
Yep.
Julio switchgear.
We need
Pirate
a
chef,
shirt.
Pope.
We need a shirt with Julio's face on it with that underneath.
Pirate chef Pope.
Honestly, pirate, chef, pope.
I'll add it
That's
to
funny.
my very long list of designs I want to make when I make time.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Favorite stealth moment?
I think so.
Yes. Yeah. I also agree that I enjoyed the conversation with Mihai and the fact that Julio is, with all of his like worries about his people, he is confident in Mihai's abilities. He's like, oh, she will be able to find the way back. Like, we skipped a lot of time between like when we met Mihai and now. So I imagine her and Shayax were like very proactive and very like confident helpers in the church.
Yeah.
So I think for Julio, she's less of like a weak child and more like, oh yeah, this is like the future of the community that we're building, which is very
She
fun.
would be
I like it.
to human years analog 16, 17. Like she's legally a child, but not much. Like she's still fully capable.
Yeah.
Physically an adult. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. Alrighty. Well, that leaves us with me. I'm not going to try and get out of it. I did manage to get shuffled to last, which, ha 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 ha. Yeah, I think 4.5 Bishop
we
Blood.
give you something. We give you something, okay? This is,
Bishop Blood
this
in
is
chat
the
was like,
allowance you get
ahem.
for going last.
Ahem! It's very funny.
Ahem. Yeah.
Alrighty, go on then, flatter me.
Well, I'm going to jump in straight away and just say Sage, just from the description of her, the introduction,
Yes.
to how she interacted with things, scattering the fucking trail mix on the desk. Like, I adore her.
Yeah.
The fucking green napkin that she gave, the handkerchief.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? It's cute, but what's happening? And they're like, this is guidance. Like, oh, okay, good.
It's not
That's
really
very
even
good.
guidance. It's her equivalent. So in the book, she is described as she has a trinket table. and it specifies that she gives gifts to people if they do something really nice or kind or fun, or they need a pick me up. She gives people little presents. And I used the trinket table last time when Kesh went shopping. The purple feathers were on that table as well. But yeah, the thing for one free hug and the trail mix. I put the trail mix in there. There are a couple of them that didn't fit particularly well in the world that I have. Like one of them was a raptor claw. I'm like, I think it's a bit weird to be going around with someone's claw in a bag. It's like effectively a toenail
it's like having
clipping.
a finger.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
And the purple feathers were originally strig feathers, and I'm like, that's also weird. It's like someone's hair. These are not. These are these are a bird's, not a bird person's. A treasure like Slimy and the purple pillows. Yes. One whole free hug, says Shanahos. Yes.
Very cute.
I'm gonna say both your characterizations were of Slimy, the little pet, and and sorry, I forgot the name because it's late.
Sage.
Sage. Both of them, yes. Both of them were amazing, but you managed to swap between them, like in a really great way, so that I always knew who you were talking about. You didn't have to point it out. I thought like the difference in your characterization was really helpful in keeping track of who was doing or saying what, and it helped me a lot to keep it in my head. So yes, it was great.
I mean, everyone's taken everything basically, but I liked that Sage wasn't just one-dimensional nice nana type, that when it came down to business, that she was quite business-minded and was like, okay, here's the stuff I know, here's the lore dump of the plot. But she was very, like, you could very easily play that kind of character as like doddering and unhelpful, and you didn't. She was pretty well balanced with that kind of stuff, so I appreciated that. And her taking seriously that we took this seriously and were considering her safety, as well.
Yeah. No, she was really fun to play.
And she picked up Slimy and carried him into the interdimensional pocket.
I prepped a lot for this, but I didn't prep a lot of the stuff that I improvised in was some of my favorites. The detail about the purple pillows, I really liked. I liked the description of the slimes coming around the door. I thought that was quite an upsetting mental image, to be honest. Like, aha, I have sealed the door. Slimes ignore. Oh, fuck! Was quite fun.
I just flashed to the mummy where she's trying to drag something in front of it. It's like, honey, these guys don't use doors.
Goes through a wall 5 seconds later, I really liked when you first met her. I hadn't written it, but so I improvised out the her giving the little wind-up rubber duck to the little boy who was really stoked with it. Yeah, she is a woman after my own heart. She is just kind. She's in the financial position where she can be. I also kind of like sort of big dick energy walking into the night. And just sort of like, this is my spot. Everybody knows it's my spot. I love having a chat with people. People come up to my cart. Maybe they buy some mushrooms. Maybe they don't. But I have a chat with them one way or the other. Maybe we go and have a pint or three. Full bore alcoholic. And yeah, she's fun. And a lot of that was just like, why not? This is fun. Eric
definitely left with the impression that she's kind of like a mafioso slumlord type.
Just some Charlie
Harmless
Sheen.
or not, no one will fuck with her. She's untouchable.
Yeah. It's kind of it's very like mafioso, but completely the opposite. As in, the end result is the same. No one will fuck with her because everyone loves her too much. She is just so beloved by everybody. It was like, no one steals from, like, it happened once and that guy got fucking crucified. So, like, it just doesn't happen anymore. And she
He
scolded.
opened his door one day and found half the inhabitants of the
Yeah, it
root
was like,
there just
I don't think you
smacking
understand.
baseball bats into
My
their
daughter
palms
loves
going,
that woman. Yeah. Yeah, the guy was driven out of the roots, tarred and feathered, and it just didn't happen again. And Sage is not aware. Sage noticed that something was missing, went, oh, well, never mind, and somebody else said, wait, someone stole from you? And she's like, it looks like it, that's okay, they must have really been hungry. And then the following day, that person had been found, tarred, feathered, and abandoned outside the roots unconscious. And they never came back. And that's okay. And no one tells Sage. Yeah. Cool. Well, glorious. Thank you very much for our favorite moments, guys. That has been lovely and splendid. We will go away from here now because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while. It's how my LARP character operates. I love that.
It's like,
we
you
love it.
can't kill me. I'm too nice.
She's not stupid.
You know, it's a little like that, but it's more like, look, you want to kill me? Fine, I'm unarmed. I make a point of going around unarmed. Please, kill me and see how long you survive.
Yeah.
That's badass, though.
See how that goes for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is nowhere near as... she is just naive, innocent, no and no, but... Well, innocent, probably. Innocent, I'll give you, but not naive. But just...
She
prepared
believes in people so hard that they feel compelled
to actually do the thing.
justify
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good description. That's a very good way of putting it. And I wish I
She
could
sees
be...
the good in you so hard, you have to
You
follow
actually
it.
are better. I wish I could be as good as Sage is in real life. Yeah. Anyway, we will go away from here and raid somebody else and drop some of these lovely viewers over on somebody else. Who have we got? We have the Mini Mad Cat is doing some Warhammer painting. Warbus Tusker is doing some mini painting. Mike Moans is doing some mini painting. Oh gosh, we are spoiled for choice. Let us drop him on the Mini Mad Cat.
As long as you like mini painting.
Yeah,
as you
I
like mini-
don't know very many other people playing D&D at the moment, sadly. So yeah, we will go for some mini painting instead. And I think the Mini Mad Cat, who has 1/10 the number of viewers as Mike Bones, so we'll go and drop a raid over there, guys. So before we go, who the absolute heck have you been this evening? Brendan, who the heck are you?
I'm Brendan. I'm an acting director. I'm a LARPer. I'm a shit poster.
All true.
I'm a cool guy.
Sure.
That's me.
Excellent. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm Karen. I'm riddled with anxiety on a regular basis, but I suppress it by making jokes. I'm also a writer, a performer, an internet addict. You can
Fake
follow,
love, hiding
follow
real
me-
pain.
Yeah, very much those vibes. There's my social media links on the right. You can check them out. You can listen to me in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I actually play a dragonborn. She's called Realm Westfall. She's pretty dope. She's got an amazing silvered axe, which she hits people with, which I can't get away with in real life because I would get arrested. Very sad.
Only if you do
I've
it
been
wrong.
playing a lot of bold. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. We'll be back doing that on Tuesday. And see how overexcited I get about tiny details that I enjoy.
I'm glad you like it, Shanahos. Shanahos apparently is a listener of There Be
Aw,
Dragons.
thank you.
Nearly really need to get the DM to produce more episodes because you haven't released one in like
He
a year and a
keeps
half.
saying how much he wants to get more episodes out, and then it just
It's
doesn't
like
happen.
more
And
episodes.
he's just
One
very busy.
episode would be good. Haven't released one in 18 months, Matt. Never mind.
But what is there is really good.
But
I
it is
can't
really
listen
good.
to it at work because I laugh too much.
Yeah, more like 2021. Fuck me, is it really?
Oh my
yeah.
god.
It's progressed so far from what is currently out. Rachel Fukar is now in it. Anyway, John, who the heck are you?
Hi, I'm John. I've been a performer for 20-ish years and had lots of fun tonight staving off the existential dread by pretending to be someone I'm not. Hooray!
Yay!
Yay.
What? I need this. I know, right, Bishop Blood? Yeah, it's a while away. Like, the released episodes are up to episode 36. I think Rach comes in around episode 70. So, you're probably never going to hear that, I'll be honest.
No, it will happen. Even if I have to drag Matt into the sound booth and beat him with the stick.
Yeah, it's a long ways away. Her character's a super sweetie as well.
Oh my god, her character's great. You're going to love it.
Yeah.
Eventually. Not right now.
Eventually.
But maybe. And Daria, who the heck are you? You talented being.
Yeah, I'm an artist. I do emotes, I do portraits, and I'm commissionable. And I'm gonna be here next Thursday
I'm for
to
sale.
do more. I'm for sale, because capitalism. So if you need any art, D&D or otherwise, let me know. I'm pretty fucking good sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be back on Thursday playing more Julio. So I'll see you then.
Yeah. Matt would
Bishop,
refuse.
I'm with you. I was like, it's good enough. Just release it.
No, I support Matt in this. Our tangents last for 45 fucking minutes sometimes in that game. Mine are very well behaved. I am an awful player for that game. Around a table, yeah, it's nightmarish. And Matt has to cut 30-40% of what happens. And would cut more if it wasn't so inherently linked with what's going on. Patreon exclusive, yeah, that's a good idea. Call it the Director's Not Cut at all.
Director's Uncut.
Yeah,
We'll start to go through and cut out all the awkward moments where we get really intense debates about what rule is correct.
Oh my god, yeah. It got
We
worse
got a
when
few rules lawyers at that table.
it got worse when Rach came in because another player also came in and he's also a DM, and it makes because me and
all these
Tristan
DMs just going, but the rules, and I'm like,
me and Tristan going there like I'm pretty good about it, but when Tristan doesn't think Matt's right, he doesn't let it go, and yeah, sometimes eventually I wade in and I'm like, I'm actually more often than not I agree with Tristan, because he's normally right. Matt's just interpreting the rules in a way that makes the game more interesting, and often that means irritating for us. Anyway. And I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with my lovely wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. But you know that, because you've done that already. You've joined us. You've welcome. Thank you very much. I am also in the podcast There Be Dragons. You can listen to my vocal talents over there. I am the Dread Pirate, Scan Felspar, and his little dragon, Rosh. It's very good fun. Not a power gamer, a chaos lawyer. I am neither normally. Problem is if the DM doesn't know how the game fucking works. Anyway. What else do I need to talk about? I need to talk about the wonderful folks at Woodenforge. Check them out at woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. They make beautiful things like this. This little box is made of Australian jarrah. It's gorgeous hardwood, really dark. They cover it with some beautiful oil as well. And within it is a Corsairs Cove coin. So you can get Corsairs Cove coins over on Woodenforge. And it's actually a stand. So you can see it stands up in the box. And I never have it on display. It's dope. They sent me 3 of them. One of them was given away as a prize. Karen's got one, and I have the other. They're also technically a D2. And they've got Woodenforge's logo on the back and Corsairs Cove on the front.
I'll grab mine, but there's a dog digging her claws into my
really
lap,
good, chunky thing. Very, very sexy stuff. Check them out, woodenforge.com, if you want to get something similar for yourself. They also do commissions. What else? We also have a link for Troll Lord Games. The guys over there are splendid beans. They are incredibly supportive of the online TTRPG community, and they themselves create TTRPGs like Castles and Crusades, and also they were the last publishing house for the late Gary Gygax, so you can get some of his very early work over there at the moment, which is pretty heckin' cool, and I believe work is being made to make it system agnostic. At least partially because Gary Gygax didn't develop 5e. So you kind of have to a little bit, just to make it playable in the system we currently use mostly. But yeah, it's usable across a whole bunch of stuff as far as I am aware. Check that out, trolllord.com. Guys, Karen, could you tell me quickly about Gaza?
I can. It is a bad situation over there. It's sucky. So if you have some money that you are able to donate, that is the link for the Save the Children Gaza emergency appeal, focusing on the 50% of Gaza's population that are under 18. Let's sit with that one for a second. And if you are feeling the cost of living pinch, you can follow the second link and sign the Gaza Crisis Petition run by Oxfam. This is petitioning specifically the Australian government to call for ceasefire and provide further humanitarian aid to the region.
Excellent. I'm just looking to see if I can find someone who's actually playing D&D to drop you guys on. Dice actors. They're playing...
Mad Cats is fine.
Hey?
Where are all our D&D mates at?
Oh, D20 Deathmatch is streaming. Let's go there. Oh, and Corsic Phoenix is on there. Cool. Excellent. All right, that's way better. Let's drop you over there. Comedy Homebrew Persistent Campaign. Sounds great. We'll do that. D20 Deathmatch is where we will drop the stuff. So, drop the peep. So, guys, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell the Mini Mad Cat... No, not the Mini Mad Cat. We're going to D20 Deathmatch. Where you came from. Show them the love like we always do. And we will see you same bat time, same bat channel on Tuesday night for some more Baldur's Gate 3, hopefully, if Karen and I are in the right headspace for it this time. Last time, our apologies. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Life did very much happen that day. Alrighty. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.